We're going to Aquilo, so I think there'll be plenty of sweat. 9.5 hours. I think we can get it done. Running the numbers, I believe I only need 6,500 research done with cryogenic science. Because we already have biolabs, you can cut that in half, and because we have productivity modules, you can further multiply that by 0.76. So rough back of the envelope math says 3 full rockets of cryogenic science, provided it survives the route back, will be enough to get the research done to get us to the very end. I wonder if I counted railguns in that. Well, there's an easy way to check. Let's jump back into the game and get it moving. And then immediately pause because the timer ticking makes me nervous. Look at that, 9 hours 21. It's not inconceivable that we get all this done today, but let's have a look-see at where we are and what needs to be done. We are currently researching how to get to Aquilo. However, having given it some thought, I shouldn't be doing that because the research is very slow, and I never got around to doing my lab speed because I was severely lacking purple and piddle science. Now I have them not in droves, but thanks to the biolabs, I've essentially doubled my production of them, and I've somewhat patchworked in some additional steel. So if we get these in, we get a massive boost to research speed, 50% and another 60%. So I like the idea that our rate goes from 140 to 250. Given that speed is a bit of our problem for this research, that seems like a great idea. Is there anything else that I'm going to delay Aquilo over? There is an idea to get the shooting speed up. I wasn't going to go for this, but when I was reviewing the technology available, I realized that this affects rocket shooting speed as well, massively, 130%. Now that seems very good for the safety of our ships out there, so I think that will also be done before Aquilo. Is there anything else pre-Aquilo? No, I don't think so. I mean, Aquilo is a 3,000 research science, where these are just 600, 500, 500, so these will bash through quickly. And the research speed ones will speed up everything coming thereafter. Tarkin Rex points out Factorio is like Dominion 6. In theory, it's right in my wheelhouse, but for some reason I have no desire to play it. That's just laziness, I'm sure. Although I do know the feeling. Sometimes you see a game and you think, oh, that's great, but yeah, I don't want to learn the systems, I don't want to spend the time. I just want to slink into this comfy game that I already know inside out, and I can sit down and get those endorphins flowing. I know it. Sometimes I have to build up a bit of, I wouldn't say courage, but maybe effort to actually invest myself into a new game. And very often it pays off, much like Dominion 6. I think I was dreaming about Dominion 6 last night. It's been too long. I need to set up a campaign for it, but there are just so many games, so many time-consuming games in my veritable gaming diet right now, and it's only getting worse. Oh, what a problem to have. Too much of a great thing. Oh, what is it? Yeah, too much of a good thing. It's wonderful. Okay, let's go and fix some problems, shall we? First of all, this thing that we saw in the preview. What is this? What is this? It's railways getting in the way of me making my delectable electric furnaces. And while we're here you go, furnaces, you've earned it. M. Switched out our research there. I want to take a look at Lou's lobby, who's currently in orbit over here, grabbing what they need. I am thinking I didn't give them enough science to pick up, so I'm going to tell them to pick up at least 2,000 science. Did I change that? Actually, you know what? If they even have 4,000 science to give me, that is fine. So let's give you 60 seconds there. Don't leave until your cargo is at least 2,000, and if possible, pick up 4,000 of the agricultural science. That sounds kind of cool. And then come and drop it off all over here. But even before that, I think I'm going to send you to Vulcanus and reinforce you a bit. I feel a bit bad about you not having anything on the front here. And since I'm so very relying on you to bring that science back, you know what? Screw it. I think they're fine as they are. Get back to doing what you do. Wind lobby needs to be transformed, though. How do we do that again? I've managed to forget. Let's see, here we go. Last stream, we designed our victory ship. At least I think we did. What is that? And for that, we're going to need the shell here. Do I just do the shell right now? That doesn't get rid of everything that's already there, though, does it? No, sorry, it does not. But I could at least slam this down and then tell it to request additional materials from the ground. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, although asteroids are going to come in and start smashing into this stuff, aren't they? It's alright, it'll get its space platform and it already has stuff to repair with. And it somewhat has these laser beams to help out. Although I don't want too many of them because too many laser beams spoil the broth or something to that effect. There we go, that'll be fine for a wee while. Right, so a few things we need to cover for that rocket. It's going to be nuclear powered, and I currently have nowhere near enough nuclear powery things. So, see this right here? Let's double it. Double and move on. Ancient Factorio wisdom. Although they're going to need efficiency modules that I'm pretty sure they don't have. Well, to say that they need it is maybe a bit of a stretch, but even so. Can't ghost these in? Well, whatever, they're here now. Keep it going, keep it flowing. Even that's probably not enough, but I don't have more of these, and I shouldn't need too many shiny green rocks. Speaking of having shiny green rocks, though, give me them. Give me all of them. How many of these things can I actually make? 9. 9 lots of them, huh? Doop-de-doop. Hey, we got the research done already. Alright, screw it. 90 uranium fuel cells should be enough. I'll just make those by hand. Right, what else needs to be done for flying over to Aquilo? There's a big shopping list that needs to be done, but I need to get the ship put together first. And that means anything that the Wind Lobby doesn't have for building needs to be constructed. One thing I really want is some quality grabbers, though, as we send off all of the platforms for it. Don't really have a setup for quality. Why don't I just make it, though, right? See this thing? We don't need more rocket silos. I mean, they would be nice, but we don't need them. Ooh, it's going to take forever to bring all those things out. Just delete the damn thing, then. And then once it's there, rebuild it. And then have the rebuilt thing make me some quality grabby grabbers if it can, please. It's not under the influence of any speed modules, which is good, I think. I've toyed mentally with the idea of actually mixing speed and quality modules. Maybe there's a point where it actually does give you more. Right, so I want those quality grabbers, and I want you to have my quality modules inside you. It's not a lot. I can only do 8% quality, but that's going to have to do. So get those in, get me some asteroid collectors, and just fill this bleeding thing up with asteroid collectors until we have the right thing. And you are not done, or rather you will be done, when we have... Oh, you've made one already. Wow, technology. I would like you to keep going, except if there are... How many of these things are we going to need? I don't know, but when there are... Yeah, once I have 10 of them, you could stop. So enable when there are fewer than 10 quality asteroid collectors. Alright, sweet. Can I actually set the quality to be variable? No, that's a shame. I can't say less than or equal to or more than and equal to quality uncommon level. Anyway, that'll keep going. I think that's the only quality item that I needed for the end ship, right? Scouring for quality. I already have those beacons. Otherwise, I don't see any quality. Wait, for some reason I see quality little calculation devices. I'll need to fix that. And fix it I shall, but only once it's ready to rock and roll. Double check on the quality beacons. Actually, I only have 15 of them. I think 15 is plenty, right? Yeah, we only need 10, and I think stack limit for a rocket is 10, so that'll be fine. Although I will want those beacons for Aquilo. I guess Aquilo can make do with uncommon beacons. Whoa, the research is going a little bit uncomfortably fast. Look at the speed of it going. Oh, that is nice. What is starting shortly? Oh, thanks for that. I always forget to remove that. I should use the Well, I shouldn't use that if I keep forgetting about it, right? Speed decreases quality, but there's a prod mod plus quality optimum. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm sure there is. Oh, right. Something that I brought but didn't set up is a solar farm. And of course I don't have space for all my solar farming. Why do I have an ungodly amount of electric poles? There's a lot of things that I frankly have too many of. Give them access to some of these storage chests. I'm pretty sure that my poor bots don't get anywhere near enough of those. Oh, but I'm going to need these for making my solar farm. Stuck in a bit of a catch-22 here, though. In that case, just take enough so that I have enough space for this. Also, take this junk off of me. Also, why do I have grenades? I don't think grenades are relevant in this planet anymore. I've streamed many a time with my BRB screen on, and I always forget I should really have a dedicated monitoring monitor. That's what you guys are for, right? I'm sure you always keep me on the right track. Chat never leads me astray. And other great lies. Okay, anyway, give me all that stuff. It's time to make a solar farm. Now, I'm sure there are some cool designs that have the optimum ratio of something like 25 solar panels to 21 accumulators or something like that. We are not going to care whatsoever about that. In fact, I'm just going to take big, chunky solar farm here and slap it down until I've slapped down enough of them. Although I'm going to find a quiet area to do so. This area looks quite quiet. Do I have cliff explosives? Of course I do. Why would I not? Alright, glorious. In that case, just go smack. 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 And my beloved bots can get to work. Let the robots do the work. And if they can place under me and I can automatically fly when that's going on. Otherwise, is there anything really to worry about until we get our way to the research that we need? Hey, look at that. They're picking up 1,000's on its way. It's building up more on its way, but time has already passed. I wonder how that's going to work. Gleba, what are you up to? I wonder if it goes away whilst things are still on their way. What happens in that case? Maybe stuff being on the way pauses it starts. Yeah, because by all accounts, it should move once the 2,000 or so arrive. Although maybe it's the first 2,000 coming. Who's to say? I love my Gleba base here. It's so compact. With a bit of tender loving care, I'm sure I could make this even tighter and more efficient and more expandable. Oh god, I just had a thought. I want to make some stack inserters. Actually, do I care? No, I think where we are in the game, we don't care about more stack inserters. I care about how low freshness this agricultural science is, though. Why is it so low? So off goes another rocket. This rocket's still waiting on some science for some reason. Damn slow bots. Alright, so it's getting that, and maybe more will come on the way, who's to say? Actually, I curse those slow bots. Maybe we should have set it up so that they insert directly into the rocket silo. Alright, Vulcanus, have we gotten any quality so far? We've got one whole quality asteroid collector out of lots. Oops, no, don't do that. Yeah, 34 and we got one on an 8% roll. And it's 8% to be at least uncommon. That's okay, though. We just print out these resources, so it doesn't really matter how much it wastes, as long as it makes me what I need here. So you get for not belting. Yeah, I like to minimize belts where possible. Not always possible, of course. Outposts can be very far away, in which case you could always use trains, but trains necessitate belts as well. Right, that's all well and good, and we do want more of this, but it's of no use to me if I don't also have accumulators. I don't think I made any kind of accumulator bank here, so what's this? Why don't we just have this kind of like equidistant? Am I just going to find that I'm off by one? Okay, well you can be one wider on both sides than our friend over there. And these things have a range of 3, right? Good enough. Do I really need this solar bank over on Novice? We haven't run into any real problems regarding the biters. But you know what? I'd be happy to keep it that way. Alright, back to researching Aquilo. And now I'm under the assumption it's going to take less time than before because of the speed bonus. I didn't check how many accumulators are in here, but we're just throwing it down. I'm sure I have enough power poles. Alright, now it's only going to take 27 minutes. If I recall, it was set to take about an hour previously. Is that them all gone already? Dang, I really should have brought over more accumulators. I'm quite certain this won't be enough for our needs. But I will set up some simple logic. Unless Master from ActRaiser 2 is nearby with more of them. No, I only told it to pick them up as a one-off, didn't I? Okay, well, so be it. On your head be it. Just pick up all these and make them again. Meow. I'm not really concerned about the longevity of this base after all, for the run at least. When I've got 100% achievements, I can't see myself coming back to this run. And that's not a this save file problem. Yeah, I could certainly see myself having a lot of fun optimizing everything I've set up, or at the very least cleaning things up. I would like to delete everything on Novice other than the very, very starter base behind the pipe walls, which I keep around for nostalgia. But I'll always be filled with the sadness that my spaceship got blown up. Not my fault either. The biters aggroed on my starting spaceship. It was miles away from my wall, but they just went mad and started chewing it to death. It was way outside of anywhere we could protect as well. You're basically immune to biter danger now. The only real danger is yourself. Yeah, in terms of threat, that's absolutely true. Okay, I imagine that is enough. Some more solar farm there we're going to need for all these accumulators. But I would say I do want to set up some simple logic so that my boilers don't kick in until energy is quite low. Otherwise, the boilers are going to run through the night, largely making the accumulators a waste of time. That's going to require an accumulator. Do I actually make accumulators anywhere here? Loginet. What do I have in terms of accumulators? I got 30 in the Loginet. Amazing. It's not amazing. It's awful. But I only need 1. So let's make 1 and find our way over to the boilers. And we're going to segregate the boilers. Like I said, this is probably useless stuff to do right now. But we're doing it anyway. I'm very, very happy with the removal of green wires and using copper cables as items for stringing along your electric network. Does make sorting things out like this a whole lot easier. So, hold your horses there. Hold those horses yet. This is going to be the simplest of setups. At least it would be if this tree weren't in the way. Sorry, tree, you've got to go. Perspective problems of Factorio. Alright, good. Now it's isolated to be just on one little network bit here. So we're going to grab a constant, not a constant combinator, the power switch, of course. Just flooding my inventory with garbage now, huh? Right, 1 power switch. Dodonk. Power goes in here. Power goes out here. We have a single accumulator on this side. And the accumulator is going into you. And this thing will enable itself once the power output of A. So whenever A is less than, let's say 20, this thing's going to kick in. And we're going to sever the connection here. And the accumulators all will share a uniform amount of charge, assuming that they are all on the network at the same time. So whenever the accumulators total drop below 20%, this thing's going to close in. Now it enters this weird moment where it keeps going on and off. I don't think that has any ill effects. It's a much nicer setup to make it, close at 10% and then break the connection again at 5% or something like that. Probably the reverse of what I just said. But what I did there is the simplest, dirtiest way to do it. Good morning and good luck on the challenge, says Snow Kitsune. Somebody wishing me good luck in this chat. Did I wake up in the wrong year again? Okay, right. So Lose Lobby is indeed bringing back the sciences. How many sciences? I didn't double check to see how much was coming in. Lots of science. That's good. It's a bit old and moldy, but that's still good. That seems to be a-okay. We seem to be lacking the other sciences, though. Not space science, but let's go and check on Master from ActRaiser 2. Tell them to take, up to like 4,000 of these sciences. Let's not be piddling around here. Yeah, give you 60 seconds there, give you 60 seconds there. It should be enough time. I mean, maybe we could be a bit fussier and give you like 120 seconds. It's not like we're in a hurry. Yeah, there you go. Why do you go to Gleba? Oh, I had the dream of you dropping off these bulk inserters to Gleba so I can make them into stack inserters. Do I still want you to go there? Yes, actually I do, because I want you to unload processing units and low density structures in Gleba as and when needed. Okay, good. I know where I stand then. Is new solar farm actually connected? You ask a lot of me. But yes, I should make sure that it is connected, because right now it is not. All these people asking things of me. Design this right. Make sure it works. Connect your science. Well spotted out, though. Thank you. There we go. Now it's super connected, and now our ability to provide power without boilers is pretty good. And that's very important for my pollution, because boiler pollution is still my largest polluter. Ugh. Steel furnaces are massive as well, but we're not changing that out. Our pathetic ability to mine. To mine? To smelt is still just going to be what we have. Now, I'd like to redo this with nothing but big drills, but I'm not sure I have enough in the way of big drills. So how about we just augment you with a few added big drills? Damn, these things are big. I guess the clue's in the name there, huh? Do I really care? No, I'm not sure I care that much. How about this? There you go. Of course, that gets right in the way of you, doesn't it? How funny. Right. You just want to make sure that that stuff's coming in here. There we go. It's hideous, I know. Also, it's not connected. I seem to have a problem with connecting things today. That's what I get for not playing Factorio for a few days. Unthinkable. Alright, there we go. Hopefully that will augment my... Wait a minute. I completely reversed that, didn't I? Yes, I most certainly did. There. Wait, that's still not right. What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to put this on the other side of something. Egads, how am I failing this so badly? There we go. That's righter. I wish I had the stacking technology for stuff going on belts. Is that a lane balancer? It was more like a lame balancer. Alright, connected, connected, connected. Everything is running. 9 hours left, almost to the second now. Quick check on how things are looking for those quality arms. Hey, we got 5 of those and 2 of the rare ones as well. Isn't that beautiful? How is the Wind Lobby doing? The Wind Lobby skeleton is created. So I should ask myself, where does the skeleton go from here? Are we going to transform it? Well, we have plenty of space in the cargo hold, so yeah, let's do it. There. Although, it's notably going to be severely lacking power. In fact, things are just going to crash into this without recourse. Well, I want it to get the goods it needs to continue to build. I suppose it's not all that bad. You know, it takes a bit of damage, so what? It'll fix it. And if it somehow loses bits in the ground, then we'll fix that yet. What I really should be doing is getting it some water to kickstart power, because I don't trust it to find the ice bits that it needs. So, I would like you to request some barrels of water, please. A water barrel. Yeah, you can get 100 of those. I wish it would default to the planet this thing is over, or at least have a setting for that. That also means I need to barrel a bunch of water. Where do I even make water around here? Do I make water around here? Yes, I make water right here. Alright, in that case, please get me... Oh god, look at that coal running low. It's okay, the coal will surely last until the run is over. Listen and believe to what I say. Right, you there, I wish for you to barrel me some water. Fill a water barrel. And then put those barrels of water into a chest. Also get the barrels into here. I can't imagine needing many of them, but who knows. And then here we go. I should have this parameterized, but I'm not good at that. Alright, you're getting the water. Now you need the barrels. And wouldn't you know it, I set up barrel production an aeon ago. Look at this. What was this guy thinking? I certainly wasn't thinking about this, I assure you that. Alright, there you go. Get your filthy barrels in there. Although, come on, I don't need that many barrels. Whatever, they're cheap. Make me tons of them. No skin off my nose, after all. Novice is complaining that it's missing one thing. Oh, it's this. Alright, don't... Wait, that was the wrong thing to... You there. Don't even bother. Alright, great. We're making additional shiny green rocks. So maybe I could even set up a full load of 100 uranium fuel cells, because I need those over in Vulcanus. I'll get Master from ActRaiser 2 to do that for me. Alright, that means I'm going to make one more of these? Or 10 more of these? Not without the other uranium, am I not? There we go. You make 10 of these at a time, it's loads. Yeah, this thing's out of range. Automagically fulfill requests, I imagine. Master MacTracer 2 is currently at Gleba, meaning it's going to go to Vulcanus and then over to Novice. What are you even doing there? Get your arse back to Novice right now. And then wait, because I'm going to send you up these goods. Actually, I'm not going to send them. Let the rockets do it themselves. Shove that into the Loginet. And then tell Master from ActRaiser 2 to collect... And this is a huge waste of resources for rocket launches, but we don't care. I need you to pick up 100 of these. Hopefully 100 is all we're going to need for the rest of the game, but I'll keep a close eye on how much of this stuff gets used up. But yes, take 100 of those, fill them up, shove them over to Vulcanus, and then another 10 launches to get them over there. And then, yum, look at that. Water go. Which means the Wind Lobby should probably have a special request for 100 of these. Why did I not set this? I thought I set this up. I remember setting that up. So yes, it's gradually getting all the goodies that it needs for all this building work. Although, I'm sure we noticed something where, yeah, some of this quality wasn't quite right. That's alright, that's what upgrade planners are for. Take quality 2... I can't remember which of these I accidentally make quality 2, but take them all. Yeah, alright. It changes the quality out. All of these quality 2 items, please make into quality 1 items. And yeah, that catches the ones I accidentally did. And then please consider what you need brought over. And Bob is potentially your uncle. Still doesn't have all the asteroid collectors that it needs. Not enough to fill one rocket. Not enough cash. Whew. Barreling water to space. It's madness. How else am I meant to get water in the orbit of Vulcanus? It also needs something to get going, and I really don't want it to set up a big solar farm on the wind lobby. So the wind lobby is ready for the end game with railguns. Or as ready as it can be right now. It uses steam turbines as armor. Steam turbines actually have 300 health. They're not all that bad. And I'm sure we have enough repair packs to repair everything that gets smashed during this time. Is this the final stream of the run? Don't know. It could well be. Depends how things go. Otherwise, I suppose I'm just waiting for that to be ready, filled up, and then go over to Aquilo. I can't even make use of the Aquilo shopping list, which I put together. I wrote down the things that I think I'll need for setting up the Aquilo base. I'm bound to forget something, which is why Wind Lobby needs to be ready to do some return trips to grab extras for me. Otherwise, though, safe in the knowledge that the evolution factor here... in Novice is 0.82, so not even close to Behemoth's. It has a Fulgora and Gleba evolution factor, even though that does nothing. Wait, Gleba does, but Vulcanus and Fulgora certainly don't. I get the names of these things mixed up so many times. You can make a compilation of all the times I've called Vulcanus Fulgora and vice versa. Burn, you bastards. Burn. Why do I have this single piece of garbage here? Okay, is there anything else to concern myself with? Want to make sure everything's working. We're processing all of the uranium. Great. Are we? Do these guys even have sulfuric acid? I seem to not have sulfuric acid. Oh, Lord, the oil issue. There is just no oil. Right, let's see if we can aid that for a time being. I have productivity modules. Get rid of those. Take in these. There we go. So that's going to get us 18% more oil coming out. Do I have speed modules? I do. In that case, let's see if we can speed up our oil extraction. The oil in pump jacks is no doubt down to minimum, which is 20% of their original yield. My, these ones were never efficiency moduled. What a thought. Speed beacons are the best for these things, because they get the bonus for extraction, which is something I would love to increase, by the way. How much expensive is that looking? Where's the extraction tech? There. 1,000 purple science once upon a time just seemed insurmountable, but this would be pretty good for 10%. I'll consider some nice to have sciences once we have our Aquilo research done. But yes, I need to somewhat desperately increase our production of oil. So I'll get right on that. The whole base runs on 2 pump jacks. The whole base did run on 2 pump jacks for a long time, but we went to some extravagance and got our filthy mitts on all of these, which have also run down to minimum, so yeah, well. Now these beacons aren't cheap, but heavens knows we need the output. Is that still all connected up? It looks all connected up. I don't really think I want to waste a beacon on you, but I'm going to, because we need this stuff. These things are quite chaotic. Anyway, how's the fluid production of crude oil looking after I did that? Went from 3.2 to 7 point something. 3.8 maybe to 7.0. So we more or less doubled the crude oil production and put a compounding 18% production on it. So that won't solve any problems, but it'll certainly be a patchwork solution. And until we get express delivery done, patchwork is the only work I'm willing to do. Except for making good designs from the very start, which is what I should have done for everything, but I didn't have the knowledge or experience or any of the other good things to make that happen. Am I going to be concerned about my lack of copper at some point? The original copper battery dried up an aeon ago, and I would like to refeed it at some point. Is all this within the Loginet? It's all within the construction Loginet. In that case, I don't think it'll make any difference, though, because this just feeds down into where this already goes. But I could feed it. Nah. Don't worry about it. We're going to Aquilo, or we're preparing for launch to Aquilo in 8 minutes, so I just want to be ready for that. Didn't I tell Master from Actraiser 2 to stop? Did he get all of his, What? Where did it go? You all saw it, right? I set up requests for, I set up the request for uranium, right? I am 600% certain I set up the request for uranium. Was it tossed into space? Don't say that. That would scare me. Alright, I want 100 of these imported from Novice up here. No, we don't toss anything to space other than rocks. What the heck happened? Maybe I hit escape and I cancelled it rather than confirming it. That's not unthinkable. So up they go, rather frustratingly slowly. Also, rather frustratingly, I never set these things up to be requester chests. What, that's a lot of... Oh no. Oh no. Long ago I feared of this happening, and it is happening. So this is what happens on corners sometimes. The biters just aggro on a certain point like that, and it's a huge pain in the arse. I'm actually going to bring these things forward with that in mind. So yeah, they stay outside of your range and they just zap you away like that. Maybe I could also bring in some help like so, but then it just becomes more of a target. Okay, that took care of that. The real issue at hand was that I should have never had the corner protruding as much as I did. That is on me. But I'd rather blame the bots, so I will. Stupid bots. Yeah, this is why you make a good corner design that can reach out. I kind of make the corners a bit tapered so the enemies don't go in on attacking them like that, but oh well. Right, so slowly but surely we'll get that. What was I trying to do? I believe I was trying to somewhat automate the requests of goods for this. Where are my requester chests? Just always make sure you have enough for our beloved rockets to flow, and all will be well. And how many of these things do we have in the Loginet? We have so much rocket fuel that I should probably turn off rocket fuel. There we go. Cease with your rocket fuel shenanigans. Yeah, picking up these things, they're garbage. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Good. Alright, how are we looking? Master from Actraiser 2, you've got 40 of them. They're not on the way yet. I can only assume that's because my rockets are not ready yet. And that is another problem that I have. They don't make these fast enough. So first we make them go more efficiently. And then I tell them that they are bound by my law to go faster. Better concern myself slightly with just how... Whoa, look at those accumulators drop. What is eating all my power? Those damn biolabs. And that means that the electricity satisfaction bottoms out really badly. That actually tells me that I should finish up more solar farmy stuff. Does that mean the rockets launch slower when the electricity demand is problematic? That's quite funny. Quite funny indeed. And at the same time, I'm not laughing. Add efficiency modules and a beacon on the rocket silos. Well, the rocket silos don't actually use that much energy except for when they're launching, although I suppose right now they're doing exactly that. Too many beacons, though, and they start eating up too much energy as well. So let's try and make things a little less ridiculous on the power consumption. Where's the rocket silo, anyway? Yeah, there we go. So the rocket silos just have spikes. Once those spikes are gone, things are better. But whoa, man, I am pretty bad on my power pro. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the power spike. It's okay. Those things won't be operating that often, and it's compounded by being at night right now. Why are they attacking my belts as well? That's all right. The belts are holy. I'm gonna leave that around as a memorial for the old base. And I think the power spike just caused my science to slow down as well. Basically, we have problems, but I'm aware of the problems, so they're not really problems. How are you looking, Win Lobby? You're still waiting on goods coming up? Although, not too many goods now. Hey, we got the 10 asteroid collectors. That's good. On the off chance that we actually managed to make epic ones instead of uncommon ones. We made three epics. Okay, we're not going to faff around getting more than that. So the Win Lobby should be able to get everything else it needs. Oh god, I don't actually have... Do I even have heat exchangers? I do. Trying to think, what do I not have here? I never had made turbo transport belts. Or rocket turrets. Wait, that's a big problem because you're the one that's able to go and get the goods for rocket turrets. Maybe it's not that big of a problem. You can go and get it. Lose Lobby could also bring them over. Anyway, I never made nuclear reactors. That's not difficult, of course. We can go Vulcanus and say, you there, make everything network. I want my nuclear reactors. How many nuclear reactors do you want? Let's be greedy and make 10 of them. No, I don't need 10 of them. Make me 2 of them. Although that is going to fill these things up drastically. Because they're all going to demand a ridiculous amount of concrete. Do I even have a ridiculous amount of concrete? I have some concrete. But now these things are each going to demand 1,500 concrete. Well, whatever. It'll get those things done, regardless how long it takes. Beautiful. I'm sure we have all the other goods for it. What was the other thing I didn't have, though? I believe it was Speedy Gonzales belts. That is relatively simple to set up, he claims. I'm just going to make you here. I'm going to duplicate this setup. Although I do need you feeding into that as well. And then I'm going to tell you that we don't want this. Oh, heavens no, we don't want this. Your specific job is to make me blue belts, blue undergrounds, blue splitters, green belts, green undergrounds, green splitters. Make me 500 of these, 100 of these, and 100 of these, which will translate to 200 of these, 50 of these, and 50 of these for now. Good. And then... how does this go again? I don't know, I made this and I've forgotten how it all works, of course. I want you to feed into this, which feeds into that. And this thing will get its recipe out of that. Set recipe, but it has no recipe. One wonders why. There we go. It's got the recipe now. Now, where's my lube? Lube comes up here. Can I get all the way under here? Nice, nice, nice. No time for fancy crap. Just get it around and get it in. We're Cuba lubing. There we go. Now you're going to demand all the goods to make this. And you're going to shove things out. And we're going to ask for more. I'm probably also going to tell you to multiply that by more. Give us like 10 times what it needs, please. There we go. Now we're going to have some belts made. And Stanley will be happy. This needed a separate thing set up for it because it needed lube. Okay, well, now with Aquilo done, I need to think what nice-to-have researches I want whilst we're on our way. I would love to be able to stack insert. But I think it's more important that my existing inserters can carry more things, because long hands are going to have to do a lot of work on Aquilo, and long hands are slow. So let's make those long hands have capacity 4... What's the current capacity of my hands? Of course, they start out at 1. Then you get this research that makes it 2. And this research for 3. I thought you could get capacity 4 on regular inserters, or am I going off the deep end here? No, it's definitely 4. What is going on? Bulk inserter, stack inserter. Bulk inserter, stack inserter. Regular inserters. So you get bonus up to 2 with this one. And then this one goes to 3. Something isn't right here. I can certainly check capacity of my current bonuses, right? Inserter capacity is only up to 2. How in the world does it go up to 4 then? It's locked behind transport belt capacity 2. That moved in space age. Fascinating. Well, I still want it up to 3 then. Okay, we'll take that. That's still quite a bit of research. Once that is done, what else is going on? What else is worth our time to research? So the only things that matter are things that get us towards the end right now. And we can't do Aquilo research until we have Aquilo science, and that's a bit away. I was talking about wanting more productivity on mining out stuff. JJ Nitro comes in and they say, hey Jake, skimmed past the start of the stream. I think after upgrading Wind Lobby, some of the red belts from previous were left on about the middle of the R section. 2 accumulators near the explosive assemblers may or may not mess up with belt directions. It certainly could. I will give it a cursory check over then, thanks. Alright, well, I guess one can't go wrong with mining productivity. Keep us busy for a wee while at least. I don't think I need laser damage for anything, or bullet damage. It's just stuff that helps out with, well, stack insertion is nice. Let's add that to the pile. Can open up some nice things, because although even if I don't have stack inserters, I do have big mining drills, and big mining drills stack insert by default. Alright, you are taking an embarrassingly long time to make this. Give me like 50 times what I need. Get to work, you lazy bots. Alright, Master from ActRaiser 2. You've got that. So, part of our... What were our problems here? What is Wind Lobby desperately lacking? Not enough to fill one rocket. Vulcanus? Why do I not have my... Alright. Tell you what's going to happen here. Don't do that. But do make me my... nuclear reactor. Doesn't need to be quality. In fact, quality is not even what we want here. Just make me them. And then you don't even bother with that. Nuclear reactor stacked to 10, actually. So, in this case, only enable when I don't have some nuclear reactors. When nuclear reactors are less than 2... Huh? Then you can insert. Alright, so there's this idea that something went wrong with some of my inserters things. That's a little weird there, that's for sure. Let's get rid of some of this nonsense. Some things are just hanging around that maybe we didn't need. I wonder if there's an easy way to check by comparing this to what's already on. It looks fine, although as you say, could be less fine than it looks. Did you get your water, by the way? Oops, I would have gotten rid of my changes here. How do you stop that? I just shouldn't have gotten rid of this. This is burning time, by the way, and I need this time for Aquilo pretty badly, actually. Yeah, did you ever get your barrels of water? I'm not so sure you did. Barrels of water, 100 of them from Vulcanus, please. And I also want you to get your 100 of these from Vulcanus. Not enough, not enough. It's not on the way. What is on the way then? Why is nothing coming up? Is there some problem with the rockets? Oh lord, that's a bad problem to have. Not enough fuel. Rocket fuel. That's a catastrophic problem to have, considering what I need to do here. Alright, sounds like a job for Master from ActRaiser 2. I want you to bridge some gaps. Get your arse over to Forgora right now, please. You're gonna bring over some fuel for Vulcanus. Right, how can I solve some of this fuel problem? I'll tell you what I certainly can do. I can change out these efficiency modules for productivity modules. And these things should probably have their speedy modules inside them right now. These guys probably shouldn't even be working. The coal flowing is slowing down, and that's a problem as well. Alright, in that case, let's buy ourselves some space for this. I know it isn't within range. We'll sort that out post-haste. Where's my nearest roboport? Oh boy, this is costing time that I do not want to be losing. Yeah, as opposed to all that time that I want to be losing. Still not within range, even with that thing down, right? No, that puts everything within range. Okay, very good. Very, very good. Does that mean I should just redo all of my mining operations here? Those construction bots are working perhaps too hard already. I need a lot more rocket launches because I have got a ton of stuff to bring over. Alright, let's get rid of all of these, and we shall put them down once this coal is done and dusted. Damn, I thought our days of having trouble with this was over. Alright, Master from ActRaiser 2. We're in dire need of, well, yes, electromagnetic science, but ignoring that for now. Could you please pick up a whole bunch of rocket fuel? Like 1,000 of it. That's good enough for rather a lot of launches. Well, it's only about 20 launches. How much is this a stack? Rocket capacity of 100, that's pathetic. And annoyingly small. Whatever, grab it while you can, please. And then bring it over. Also, Lose Lobby, could you hold on a second? There's some stuff that I need from Gleba. I am going to need their carbon fiber. How much carbon fiber am I going to need? Crivens. How much can I get? 500. Alright, how many stacks is that? 5 stacks. Alright, you know what? Get me like 2,000 carbon fiber. That'll get us away for a while. This is more important than agricultural science right now. Just get me that. Oh crap, this thing's still on a timer. I should have told it to wait longer in Fulgora. You have a lot of fuel at Novice, though. Yeah, but I also have a lot of fuel over in Fulgora, and it's easier to do rocket launches from there. Dang, double dang. Alright, so slowly but surely they're doing these rocket launches for Win Lobby. But I need so many more rocket launches done is the problem. Oh well, whilst waiting on everything else, what I could do is... Oh yeah, you there. Pause your bleeding thrust until you have all of that rocket fuel, please. 0 are on the way. Well, don't tell me that. Fulgora, what's your problem? Fulgora is slow at building rockets. Does Fulgora even have beacons? No, it doesn't. That's quite funny. It's also very, very slow at bringing things over. Damn, curse the slowness. Curse the slowness that I could easily fix. Alright, Lose Lobby is picking up that carbon fiber. Great, we'll bring that over. I guess I'll dump some more science while we're at it. The Master will pick up that. Vulcanus will do its damnedest. As for you, Win Lobby. I'd like you to empty this water. The water that you definitely have. Alright, well, when you get it, we'll get it in there. I'm pretty sure you can move things just directly into these, or am I mistaken? Yeah, if you can put modules and things, I'm pretty sure I can just go, hey, put that in. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll tell ourselves it'll be fine. Alright, they're picking up some of that rocket fuel, which is good-ish. But I'm concerned how slow this is going, considering I need to... Why is science dead? No blue science? How did that happen? No blue science because no sulfur. How did that happen? Because all the sulfur is being turned into sulfuric acid. Because of my sulfuric acid mining operation, probably. Alright, well maybe it's time to accept that I have enough shiny green rocks for now. And tell this thing to stop. There we go. Sulfur for those who need it, please. It's not like anything is clogged, it's just that my oil is in a very bad space. Although it's actually a processing problem now. These things have become too slow. Interesting. Do we have beacons back home? Well, even if we don't, I can put them down, but yes, we do have beacons. This is quite sadly going to cause a spike in consumption. It's also difficult to find a place that works for all of these. Difficult, but not impossible. The tribulations. Some people might think it madness to efficiency module any of this. But we need you done and done faster. Wow, a mech suit. Yeah, I'm going to need that for Aquilo, of that I'm quite certain. I did not expect to have rocket launch problems like this. And there's still quite a lot of rockets to be launched. Not enough to fill one rocket, excuse me. Oh yeah, it's rocket capacity 20. Alright, in that case, please give me a custom load of 10 of these. From Vulcanus. And that is fine, and that is fine, and that will be fine, that'll be fine. That will hopefully be fine. There's no rocket launcher turrets, of course. Hey, Lose Lobby, did you get the carbon fiber? Good. Alright, go to Novice. Drop off the agricultural science, and then drop this stuff off over at Vulcanus, please. I'm going to add a passenger presence so that it won't move away without my permission. Although that does mean if I'm lagging behind on this, that's going to cause me further problems. Ugh, this is so bleeding slow. Alright, get your arse over to Vulcanus and drop off what we do have. At least this is a handful of rocket launches. And again, you'll be at Vulcanus until I tell you to move. Not liking how this is going. This is costing me valuable time that I need to be spending making Aquilo. I'm also really rather concerned about the sulfur issue. Do I need sulfuric acid for anything? I need them for blue chips. Alright, sorry blue chips, you're going to be made in... I'm going to import these from Fulgora if I need them. Because Fulgora has plenty of blue chips. Good. Good, Fulgora's continuing to work away. Hopefully Fulgora has a big fat stack of this, because I'm going to need a lot of holmium over in Aquilo. Yeah, it really felt like we were on our way to Aquilo, but then we ran into problems with fuel, of all things. Oh god, I never actually rebuilt this. This needs to be rebuilt on the double. On the absolute double. I don't know where any of this was coming from. Right, mining array. This is where some belt stacking would actually come in handy. And there's still coal down here. Talking about it like it's a miracle. Alright, hop to it. Get rambling, ramblers. And as for you, what can I say? Like, I'm running efficiently because the last thing I want is a Vulcanist shutdown due to total lack of sulfur, because that's a pain to fix remotely. Although I did set up the stuff to fix it remotely, I still don't want to. Alright, there we go. Lose lobby. You're over on Novice and you've dropped the stuff off. Very good. Now get your arse over to Vulcanus. Until I tell you to not be on Vulcanus, and then you're going to drop off the carbon fiber for rocket launchers. I also need to tell it to make rocket launchers. Hey, look at that. You got this. Good. Good. Very good. Why did you not get 10 beacons? Maybe you did. Yeah, you did, and you put them down. Okay, that's very good. Now you don't need those either. Just a few more rocket launches and we're potentially good to go. Rocket launch capacity 10 and I want 21. That's awkward, but oh well. At least the goodies are in here. Now I need you to produce power. Whoa, why does it take so long to... Oh, right. It needs the energy to do this in the first place, doesn't it? The energy of which it has virtually none. That's quite funny. But it will get some water flowing. Although it ain't going to flow for anyone's benefit until these things actually... yeah, there's a few problems here, isn't there? As it still continues to be crashed into. Bang. Those repair packs won't last forever. In fact, they've been being chewed up. Oh god, there's even more stuff that we need. Alright, Master from Actraiser 2. Please drop off the fuel. It seems they're badly in need of fuel. Was there anything else you were here to drop off? I don't think so. For now, at least. Get you back to full Gora, apparently. That, well, get you over to Novice and drop off the stuff. The sciencey stuff. Alright, so Vulcanus, why is it still not working? It's not actually connected. And the fuel drying up is another problem. Yeah, we need that nuclear fuel up on Wind Lobby as well. And it needs its shopping list, which is concerning. And that shopping list is huge. That's a lot of rocket launchers worth of shopping list. I'm concerned about that. Oh well, I'll feel a bit better once this thing can actually fend for itself, because it also needs to get the resources it needs to do the journeying. And it's a bit of a cat and mouse problem, because it needs to destroy these to get the resources to make the ammo to destroy these. Oh, the point was that I didn't drop off the nuclear fuel. Okay. Yeah, good point. Forgot about that. Alright, well, while we're here on Novice, get rid of all that sciencey stuff, and then go back to Vulcanus. How are you doing, Lose Lobby? Lose Lobby is over Vulcanus, so it can also drop off the carbon fiber. And then it can get back to doing what it does, which is go to Novice, go to Gleba. I don't think there's anything else I need to rapidly deliver to either of these things. So yes, get back to your job. I shouldn't need to interrupt you anymore. Right, Master from Actraiser 2, bring over that nuclear fuel so the Wind Lobby can operate. All the while I'm doing these researches. Got the capacity bonus, which is rather nice, though. But yeah, Vulcanus's total lack of fuel is a real problem. I think it's already burnt through its fuel. Oh my god, I never set up a landing pad. Okay, well there we go. At least they have that sudden dump of rocket fuel. Cargo landing pad, of course. Just thunk it down here. And of course you don't have one, do you? You there. Now I want you to make one single cargo landing pad, and you... If there's... Whatever, just make me a cargo landing pad, please. I'm sure it'll get what it needs. Alright, speaking of getting what it needs, that's what's happening here. It won't get those railguns, that's not a problem, but I need to make the rocket turrets as well. So Vulcanus also needs to be set to make me... rocket turrets. I need... Like, I don't need a lot of them. Just make sure there are 20 in the log net. And that means that these things are going to be set to rocket turret making. Great. Except they don't have... Because I don't have it yet. I don't have the carbon fiber. But the carbon fiber is there. And somewhere else. Where's the other one? Here it is. What a weird problem to have. Jake is calling upon the divine a lot. Is it going that badly? No, I just really want to play some Dominions. Alright, Master from Actraiser 2 is back to deliver upon us the uranium fuel cells. And now that those have gone, I think this guy can get back to ferrying over additional fuel from Fulgora, because we're in that bad of a situation. Yeah, we call it win lobby, but what's it really winning? Well, at least there's some water in here that can maybe get the fuel going once these things power up. Alright, good. Some fuel cells are on the way. That's a good start. And it has repair packs as well. In that case, let's start making our shopping list for Aquilo. Aquilo shopping list. And here's a picture of Aquilo, you know, so we know what's going on. Right, what am I going to need? Fortunately, I wrote this down for myself earlier because I anticipated being in a blind panic. Unfortunately, we had to manually click everything coming from Vulcanus. Anyway, I want a lot of iron and copper and steel and other basic ingredients because I am bound to forget stuff that I need to build, and I want to be able to build it. Also, some things need to be built on site. So, steel... Sprockets, you can get 1,000. They're actually very nice to cart around, twice as efficient as doing iron plates. Give me one rocket full of green chips, please. Give me one rocket ship full of red chips, please. I'm going to need a lot of blue chips as well. I think I need those for the thingamajiggers. Maybe hold off on bringing over rocket launch things. Because currently we're at a choke point now. I was thinking about bringing over low density structures. Hey, this can be navigated while the game is paused. Normally everything is gone, but that thing can be navigated during game pause. That's unusual. You're not going to take it? No, and it was more than 50. Alpha made 130 nuclear reactors. I think 136. And then wondered where all the red chips were. Okay, I need to finish off my shopping list here, but I want to come out of this so I make sure the game is paused, because I myself need to pause and take a short break. I will be back in a few minutes. And not for lunch. That was just a placeholder. There we go. Apologies for the delay there. Makes me wish I did edited content. That way I could trim that stuff out. As it happens, if you're watching the VOD later on, you're probably just mashing forward in time until the BRB disappears. At least that's what I'd be doing. Then again, if I'd made edited content, this probably wouldn't be so stressful. We'd just have cuts to, oh, and now the whole base is complete. Boy, am I glad I thought this one up. Okay, what in the world was I doing? I think I was trying to watch this thing very, very slowly power up. Come on, you bugger. I definitely should have jump-started this with some solar. But okay, at least once these things are in, the power should start. Well, that doesn't solve my problems, though, does it? It still needs bullets. I can get bullets, it'll be fine. It'll sort itself out one way or another. Just scroll the timeline, look for the thumbnail changes. That can work, but when it's a very long video, that sometimes really doesn't work. Alright, so you're going to go to Fulgora, and you are just going to wait until I tell you to go. And then we're going to bring back additional fuel for Vulcanus. There's really nothing we can do about the fuel. I mean, I've got all this coal coming in now, and this coal's going to stack when the stack inserter operates. I'm not bulking out on any of this in particular, am I? Kind of. See, I have plenty of light oil. Clearly what I need to do is just extend this. Clearly. There's another argument that says, well, it says something. I don't know what it says, though. But I do know it says something. Probably says make sure it's still within the log net, and I can do that. Just bring all that stuff over. We got the light oil, we just need this stuff right about now. There's an idea for beaconing and such as well, but it would be clever though. I mean, look at how slowly this stuff goes. What is it using? 0.83, 1.6. It's pretty much in tandem. If I speed them up, I want to speed them up to the same degree. But to be honest, I can't be bothered. We'll see. We'll see. I want this to solve the problem, and if it doesn't solve the problem, nah, come on, don't be stupid. You're being stupid. All right, go. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Do I even have this many speed modules? Gosh, I surely hope so. And if I don't, then this is probably the time where I should be considering using beacons to minimize the amount of these that I need. How are we doing on those speed modules? I've got an A on of those speed modules. Alright, there we go. That should speed that up a touch. Hey, we're finally making nuclear power. We hadn't had that achievement this whole time. Alright, Wind Lobby now has power. Not a lot of power, but some power. And that means things like this water can flow a bit better. Huzzah. And we're also going to remove these extra heat cells, those nuclear cells. Those will only be put in when needed. And on top of that, the first little bits of asteroid chunks and whatever should start flowing around. Although they flow a little better if I actually destroyed these things. There's an idea to do that with some lasers just to speed things up. Do I even have space for some lasers up here? I guess I should investigate if I can do that. Oh god, I never finished its shopping list. Got distracted. Me? Get distracted? It's unthinkable. Alright, there you go. Just get some of these destroyed. Hopefully that'll help. Just take out some of these things while they're in range of the grabby arm. Provided you can kill it fast enough. And then when that thing shatters, hopefully not from contact, The grabby arm gets the wee bits, and then suddenly we're in the money. Alright, good, good. We've got some initial ore flowing around here. We need to get that shopping list done, though. I don't need that anymore. I still want that. Why are those not being made? Vulcanus, what is your major malfunction with regards to making these? Oh god, they need rocket launchers. That I didn't know. Okay, please make me like 100 rocket launchers. And then get back to making my shopping list for Aquilo from Win Lobby. So, I was debating whether or not to take the gubbins needed for rocket launches over there. And I think I won't, given how much of an austerity situation we are on being able to launch rockets. We'll just launch what I think I need for building over there. Which sadly means superfluous items like fast inserters, which are cheaper to make over there, but I don't want to hassle myself with that. So I'm still going to demand them like so. Give me some long hands as well. Long hands are very, very greedy to want those on the rocket. I'm going to need some fast belts, although I don't know how many. So give me the belts, give me the undergrounds. The undergrounds are going to need more of because it's very awkward building an Aquilo. How much time am I going to have left in Aquilo? It feels like I'm going to be there with not the 10 or so hours I was thinking I was on par for. This is fine. Just give me like 50 or so splitters or so. For just in cases, give me a selection of green things as well. I'm also going to want those beacons. I was hoping to have epic ones, but we'll make do with uncommon ones. There's a mod design that could use an alarm for when a product's required, but yeah, that would be great, but then I'd have to make it. And making sounds like a problem. Alright, efficiency. Efficiency is good over there. Give me like 200 of those. Speed is good over there. Give me 100 of those. Productivity is good over there. Give me 100 of those. This is already lots and lots of rocket launches. Also, I need to make sure that it's the correct planet that they're pulling from. It's very annoying to change that each time. Roboports are going to be needed. And I want rather a lot of them. Give me 50 roboports. This is so many rocket launches already. Especially if I want a lot of bots on top of that, because I'd rather like 200 of the Constructo bots and 200 Logista bots. And I'm going to need power distribution here. This time it's just substations. I'm not going to faff around with fancy power poles, because building is a pain over there. I'm going to take some of you. I guess I can enable the shopping list now. Why do you now need some space platform? Does some of it get destroyed or something? I doubt it. Right, I'm going to need to manufacture a lot of things in chemical plants over there, so sort me out with 40 of those. You might think, Jake, where are you getting these numbers from? Just pulling them out of my arse. This is what I think I'm going to need, and I'd rather have slightly more. Alright, I'm going to need some recyclers. Give me 20 of those from Fulgora. Anything else I need from Fulgora? Well, I need the holmium from making stuff. Maybe I should grab holmium along the way. Yeah. How much can I stack in one thing? 1,000. Alright, give me 1,000. I will definitely need more, but that'll get the science flowing to begin with. I also need some pump jacking. Give me another 40 or so of those. We're going to need to heat things up, so I'm going to want heating towers. Oh god, I'm going to need heat pipes, aren't I? Oh, that's annoying, because heat pipes have... maybe I can make do with 1,000 heat pipes. I wanted 2,000. Yeah, give me like 20 of these. This is a lot of rocket launches. I'm very unhappy about that. Right, we're going to need the power, so let's have some steam turbines. I'll take 20 of those. Did not anticipate this fuel problem. Like, I looked over at the amount of rocket fuel I had and thought, oh, that's loads of it. But turns out it's not loads of it. I shouldn't need a lot of these. Rocket capacity 25. All right, then. 25, please. One other problem. I need so much concrete. Let's grab 2,000 concrete. And if we need more, we'll come back for more. I also need refined concrete, rather frustratingly. Give me 400 refined concrete for now, please. Refined concrete is used for making the cryogenic plants, I believe. Okay, science is still going. That's a good sign. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be waiting a while for this. Why are you taking your sweet-ass time? Don't tell me you're out of water. That's exactly what you're telling me. How many more of those water bottles do I have? Because I feel like it's not many. Well, burn through that in no time. There we go. Very, very slowly go and get that stuff. Yeah, look at that steam just running out. And it's probably because of all the power being used up by these bleeding beacons, right? Yeah, the beacons and lasers using up all my power right now, making it rather difficult to actually start this thing. Am I actually making any ammo, by the way? Probably not, because I need calcite for that. And the calcite requires the... maybe I should just send up a bunch of calcite. How much calcite? How much calcite? I can do 500 in one rocket. Alright, we'll take 500 calcite up. Which means Vulcanus needs to actually prepare some calcite. It shall be done. There you go. There you go. Don't need a ton of this stuff, just want it at the ready. Still struggling on the fuel, of course. Funnily enough, these things are... Oh, we've got a ton of this stuff. Why don't I just double it again? Take what we have and have more of it. Because everything else comes out plenty. There we go. More of that, please. While we're waiting on that, Master from Actraiser 2 can help out. Bring back what you have and then get back to work. Did we ever make that silo thing? Yes, we did. Alright, great. Then don't bother making more of them. I think this last ship will be Jake's undoing. Yeah, it's already cost me about an hour and a half today. I need to get Aquilo done stat. But yeah, this lack of fuel, I should have anticipated this long ago, but I didn't. Vulcanus is actually lacking chemical plants. How is that possible? I never told you to make chemical plants? Oh dear. We're gonna need like 50 chemical plants, please. Unfortunately, we've got this shuffle going on. I never did solve the shuffle problem with assembly machines. It just makes them a little too slowly. Well, there's an easy way to fix this. Just make me 100 of these, and only make me 50 of these, because it's not a huge priority right now. And then that should slow down the hunger for these. Alright, good. Good to see all those rockets actually flowing right now. Master from Actraiser 2 will feed the beast. And hopefully the wind lobby can actually activate to a degree. Oh no, we're out of power. How could this have happened? Wait, is this thing even going to work without power? Because it does have no power at all right now. And it doesn't seem to have bullets for the bulleting. And there's not a lot of small asteroids to get. I think this design ultimately isn't working. It's also rapidly using up all of my repair packs. Well, maybe not that rapidly. Well, it could be draining all that power. We know what's draining all the power. all the beacons and all the laser turrets. That said, though, I still need the stuff up here. I think I might just have to slam down a ton of solar just to offset this. Oops. Just make a very temporary solar farm up here. Yeah, but that's even more rocket launches. Well, whatever, needs must. Master from Actraiser 2, get me those bits of rocket fuel, please. Hopefully that'll be enough to tide us over for a wee while. Just manual input the ammo in. Do I have ammo? Because I sure don't feel like I have ammo. I could send up ammo. But ammo is only rocket capacity 100, and that's very, very sad. Hey, mining productivity is here. Could get even more belt capacity. Well, we're currently waiting around on science anyway. Let's get it done. Although there is something to be said for explosive damage that the rockets do considerably better when we're on our way, but explosive damage is actually quite impactful. We'll cue that up as well. It's good to put Gleba science to use, considering it's just going to spoil otherwise. Alright, thank you, Master from Actraiser 2. I suppose you can get back to your regular work now. Oh, it's worth noting that I want to bring over some rocket fuel, of course, over to Aquilo to start off production. Alright. You get back to... Well, actually, maybe considering bringing over the science isn't a priority in Novice right now. I don't think so, at least. Novice has plenty of the sciences. And the agricultural sciences brought over by Lou's lobby. I think you can just get back to ferrying over Fulgora's rocket fuel. Which, you know, it's not drowning in, because it's made rather slowly over there. Maybe I should have buffered even more of it, but we're past the point of having that as a concern. Guan Win lobby. Maybe you can return those barrels. I don't think we need them here. I was getting a fair amount of this stuff over. It's just the problem is that's a lot of rocket launches for some of this existing stuff. Pick up some superconductors while at Fulgora. Yeah, we haven't finished the shopping list, but maybe we should. Yeah, I'm going to want... Well, the thing is, we're already going to have solar panels to dump, so I guess I don't need to request the solar panels. It needs more space platforms for all this. That's another 10 launches right there. But you're right, we're going to need superconductors from Fulgora. Maybe I should make like a Fulgora line here. Fulgora, superconductors. Yeah, I'll just grab a 1,000 stack of them. And we should ask ourselves what else we're going to need while we're over there. This is taking so damn long, it's painful. So the cryogenic plant requires superconductors, lithium plates, processing units. It's alright, we have everything but the superconductors at hand here. The cryogenic stuff itself needs stuff produced over there, except the fluorocatone requires lithium, which requires the holmium plates, which we have already set it to pick up, so that's okay. Yeah, recyclers are there to get rid of the ice. What else do we still need, by the way? Think, Jake, think. Yeah, much as I regret it, I am going to need the... Wait a second, if I want additional rocket fuel, I shouldn't pick it up from here. I should pick it up from maybe even Novice. Novice has loads of this stuff. Yeah, it doesn't have the capacity for lots of rocket launches, but I don't need a ton of this stuff. So, Win Lobby should get 100 of these. Yeah, maybe make it 200 just in case. From Novice. Yeah, there we go. That'll work, I hope. Alright, so get the rest of this stuff and we're good to go. Good as gold. Although the problem is that it's still not actually producing anything here. I should have set up the power long ago. It needs time to actually get the asteroids in order to get the rest of the stuff going. But curse its poor lack of power. It is a cruelty. Let's speed it up by just getting the platform stuff so that this can actually activate. Because then I can actually destroy these, pick up the goods, and carry on our merry way. Yeah, or so he says. Nice thing about solar panels in Vulcanus, they have a huge, huge capacity for power. 350 space platforms are on their way. It's a good start. How about temporarily deconstruct the beacons? Yeah, that would be good. Because they're not doing anything right now. The beacons. Bye-bye, beacons. Glorious. And yeah, if we need them back, we can put them back on. Alright, here comes some of the power. And then get the rest of the stuff. I hope there's enough space for everything. Oh, there's tons of space. The timer continues to tick down. Oh, I do not feel confident about getting Aquilo done in 6 hours, including getting this thing over to System Edge, but we'll make do with what we have. We have no other choice. Alright, there we go. Now it produces quite a bit of power, and the lasers should be able to help out in a big way. I'm actually going to add a couple more lasers, because it's quite important that this stuff, that we get these pieces. It's okay, this will be undone because I'll put the other blueprint on top of it. But yeah, get those destroyed. Get the resources in. At least you would if it's in range. You can do it. Wow, even that's not enough. Well, they're giving their all. I actually have some accumulators. They might help a bit. I'll store up power for when it's needed. Alright, there we go. There we go. Now it's going to slowly get some of these rocks to begin production. Master from Actraiser 2 is still grabbing additional fuel. We'll see if we need that or not. Green modules in the foundries. Well, the foundries aren't even working right now. Tell me, did you actually get the calcite up there? You did not. Alrighty then. By the way, what about making the railguns? They're going to need carbon fiber, and I'm going to need that for quantum processors. We can deal with that later. The science comes first. Still getting these base ingredients up here, and it's taking its sweet-ass time. Maybe not that bad, though. The heat pipes are one of the bigger things, and the heat pipes are largely done. No, it won't be destroyed before it destroys itself. What a tragedy. It was outside of the range of the collector anyway, though. How about any kind of fuel? No, we don't have any kind of fuel because we severely lack ice. This thing still needs to get some bleeding ice going. And part of the problem is water goes towards the this stuff. Right, I think we need more water. It's hideous to think of, but at least we have that ready and barreled. Yeah, I'm going to request another 200 loads of barreled water from Vulcanus, please. And I'd be very happy to not need that later, but for now I've got to bring it in. It's my responsibility. Stop it now. No, it won't deal with it in time. Wow, the ice is flowing. Oh, here's part of the problem, like you guys get top priority on the water. Ah, but the water is linked everywhere. So these guys do get access to the water. The problem is, again, calcite. So I'd really like that calcite brought up on the double, please, Novice. Vulcanus. What are they doing down there? A whole lot of nothing, because... Oh my god, they're out of chips. How? Because they're out of reds. Oh, I think we know how that happens. Wait, where's the... Did I cut this off somewhere? Coal! You were fed coal at one point in the future. Past. Past, present. You know, when I was redoing the coal, I was thinking something else uses coal, but what? Of course, the plastics. Is that gonna produce fast enough? How many blues do I make? Dubious. A little dubious about that. Master Factorio 2 could insert some processing units for us. That might ultimately not be too bad a thing, considering that gives the rocket fuel some time to build up. These things appear to be doing nothing for me. Yeah, they're not. How do I keep making these problems for myself? I thought I had it planned out. But there is no planet B. Alright, well at least this is filling up relatively nicely. But yeah, you're not getting diddly until Vulcanus gets some much needed green blues. Alright, there we go. So the plastics come out, plastics get turned into reds, and the reds are now priority for blue. Output priority towards blues, please. Let's speed things up even more by stealing these. Is there anything more Factorio than new sections of the factory not actually doing anything for 15 minutes? Oh god, no. Alright, at least these guys aren't too slow at making me the blues. But we need 50 per rocket launch. Alright, sorry Master from Factorio 2, I know you're doing good work, but I need you back in Vulcanus. Clearly I need to jumpstart things even further. Worth noting that for my ship, I also want a lot of these ingredients, including the blues, brought over. Painful, really painful. Oh well, a quick check tells me that the sulfuric acid, the steam buffer, and everything is holding up power-wise, so we got that going for us. And the coal patch still functions. It wants to die, but we're not letting it die. I might need to buffer additional this stuff. On the plus side, this is our endgame ship as well. So, you know, we get this sorted, we get it all sorted. But that timer is very, very scary. Very, very frightening. Because Aquilo is a slow planet. Alright, some things are actually activating here. Ammo production. Explosives production, and thankfully the explosives are going to back up because they're not going to be used for railgun ammo until I research railgun. And that tells me we've got a little bit of calcite brought in. Still want a bit more calcite brought in. Same can be said for the water. Hey, the water's on its way. Amazing. Most of this stuff is on its way, which is also amazing. Available on planet 0 processing units. That's hilarious. Master from ActRaiser 2 is going to insert... what does that look like? 1,200 of them? I'll help out with some rocket launchers, if nothing else. Okay, good. We scraped the bottom of the light oil barrel. Why do I have 194 rocket launchers? I told them to make 100. I guess they just vastly overbuilt. That's fine. That is absolutely fine. Looking forward to the point where Wind Lobby can actually move in space. That'll make it easier for it to grab new pieces, but the power is flowing. That's a good start. Yes, good, good, good. Bring over the resources. We need them badly. What's the hold up in the substations? Not having substations. Well spotted. I don't think I set up substation production because I wanted it done in the electro plant, and I suppose I still do. Don't make quality substations. That's not really what we're doing around here. Steel, copper cables. That's funny. It's the same stuff we already have here. But yeah, don't arse around making me that stuff. 1.2k steel, tons of advanced circuits. Well, we're kind of at a deficit of those, but whatever, they're being produced. Just go easy on them, please. Be gentle. Yeah, there we go. Now we'll have some of these at the ready. Not a lot, but they'll be there. Slotting into all these other beacons. What a mess this is. So a lot of beacons. Yeah, I was trying to make quality beacons, and I didn't arse myself with setting up any proper stuff for that. Alright, what is the problem now? Still waiting on those. Otherwise, we're pretty much good to go. That's a good sign. Get rid of that off the list. Let's somewhat speed this up. Yeah, turbocharge the water. I'll turbocharge some other things with calcite, and then hopefully this thing can start moving. Thank you kindly. Where's the calcite? There's the calcite. Here's some calcite, brother. Calcite. Calcite for a friend. There we go. That should jumpstart, or rather just start, production of things. Once we get the ammo and the fuel, this thing can start moving, and it's going to pick up a lot more resources, and then it's going to be self-sufficient. And then I can get rid of the solar panels on the side and replace the turrets with the guns that they used to be, and everything else will be fine, surely. No problems, right? Is there anything else I want to pick up while I'm here? Oh yeah, we still need those processing units. Master from ActRaiser 2, I sent you over here to help out with that. Maybe this will be the last time Master from ActRaiser 2 needs to jump in to save the day. Maybe. A man can dream. It takes a while to send these things down because it's limited in the amount of extra cargo bays that are attached to this. And of course I have attached 0. Get that stuff launched. And then get back to your old job. No need for passenger present anymore. Just do your work, go around, be happy. Really hope those fuel cells keep Wind Lobby winning. You don't need empty barrels over there. Shove them back. Okay, so you're going to get the last year processing units. Why no heating towers? Those are important. Did I just tell you not to make heating towers, or do I lack something important? Yeah, I don't think I instructed you to make heating towers. That changes now. I want 50 heating towers at the ready, please. Those require nothing in particularly difficult to do, although they require boilers, so I need to make sure that you have plenty of boilers. And then your output will be boilers and heating towers. Excellent. And if it's short on one, it will switch to the other, so it's a problem that will solve itself. Although it will take time, and time is notably absent. Oops, you're still grabbing carbon fiber. We don't care about that. That's just going to clog you up now, isn't it? Oh well, you have it, so let's not worry about it. Oh, right, I never actually gave you this order back. You've just been hanging around here doing nothing for a while. That's going to make a lot of my... Yeah, that killed science. Yeah. Yeah, having this off killed science for a while. Ah. I hope Gleba has the resources to actually send rockets. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have low density structure, so that's okay. That's what Master from ActRaiser 2 is on the way to solve. Yeah, it's going to dump these into Gleba because Gleba has a demand for those, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll have it sorted. Bit of a pain in the bum, but it'll be sorted. The main priority is getting Wind Lobby moving. It's getting its heating towers sent up. And then it's going to go over to... Oops, never got its pump jacks. Anything else I've been forgetting here? I think we're fine. I really want more concrete. Could I bring that up to 3,000? Not confident that'll be enough on its own. Notably, it needs to pick me up as well. Maybe I should be ready for that. Hey, this stuff's looking quite good. Tell you what, how about we enable one of you? And then we can keep the sulfuric acid flowing so I can at least pretend that I produce uranium. Yeah, continue to burn those biters. It's like we've long forgotten we're on Deathworld settings. You know what I really should have done is set up this stuff to do electromagnetic plants so that it eases up on my consumption of all this stuff. Didn't really want to, but the production is slow anyway, so... Let's do this. Just get this crap out of here. And then everything that we were doing can surely be done by a couple of electromagnetic plants. They're faster, they're more efficient, they're just better in virtually every way. They do use a lot of power though, so... How many slots? They got 5 slots, right? I could even make them more efficient or faster, but let's stick with efficiency. It's all we know. Well, productivity as well. There we go, and now they'll very slowly get the sulfuric acid to make these. And it's only 5 sulfuric acid per, it'll be fine. Huzzah. The cycle of life continues. Where are the red circuits? We seem to struggle a lot on those because we struggle on copper. Yeah, we do a lot of struggling around here. Don't worry about it. Main thing is get to Aquilo. You're still waiting on another batch of heating towers and then you're good to go. You actually got the concrete. Could I be really greedy and get another 1,000 concrete? If we're waiting on this anyway, yes we will. God knows how much of the stuff I'm going to need. Is there anything else I've been really tame about taking? More heat pipes, actually. Could we get, 2,000 heat pipes? Because everything needs to be insulated by being put on floating ice platforms and concrete. Well, almost everything. As long as Vulcanus isn't struggling on chips or fuel or whatever now, it might be okay. Not struggling, that's good. How about fuel? Easy way to check is go here, search for rocket fuel. Wow, we solved the problems. Okay, great. Now we just need to get in motion. That means I need to ditch a bunch of my stuff. I'm hesitant to give it to the lognet, but I don't think we'll be coming back to Novice until the end of this run. So get rid of all of my gubbins. I don't know why I ever had 2 submachine guns, but I suppose it's not a problem, is it? No, don't give me wood. Take it back. I never asked for this wood. There have been a number of issues getting the shopping list ready and the ship operational. Oh, right, yeah, and Real Decoy is asking what's going on. That is exactly what's going on. Issues and plenty of them. Oh, this is kind of hideous. Now you're full of carbon fiber. It is clogging things here. I could drop the carbon fiber off in Novice. It's no skin off my nose. Yeah, it's costing valuable space here for grabbing chunks needed to keep production going. Yeah, curse forgetting all the things that I've forgotten during this run. Alright, still grabbing some more heat pipes. It's grabbing the last of the heating towers. Once it gets those, we make our way over to... How's the water doing? Oh, what water? It's okay, it's okay. I will turbocharge the water. That's how good I am. Once the thing gets moving and gets away from Vulcanus, there's going to be a lot more ice asteroids to feed it water. Water will not be the problem. As long as it has some fuel backed up, we're pretty alright on that front. And it does have some fuel, and some is enough. The more important thing is that it has bullets right now, and it certainly does have bullets. That's excellent. Master of Factories are 2. You're the one that's meant to grab some... Oh, right. While you're over Gleba, give Gleba these. Maybe not all of them, but a bunch of them. So Gleba can make me stack inserters if needed. No, you're running away from Gleba. Get back to Gleba for just a moment. Shove those in there. Yeah, there we go. Now Gleba can make stack inserters if that's something that we're going to need in a hurry. Satisfaction 1178. I would actually like to have that filled up because I'm out of heat pipes, so I have to wait on a round trip to get some more. Although on the other hand, I'd really like to get moving. Is the problem that we don't have heat pipes because they're being used for other things? Or is the problem we don't have steel? What's the problem? Plenty of steel, plenty of copper plates. Part of the problem is that we're still making these, these. Well, they're very hungry, so let's not bother making too many more of them. Alright, you know what? I think we're going to make do with what we have with the Win Lobby. No longer on the shopping list, just take whatever you have, make your way over to Novice to pick me up, and then we'll go to Fulgora to grab the rest of the items, and then we're good. Gee. Or so I hope. Whoa, pause your thrust there. You're fine. Get over to Novice first. I think with the bullets that we have, we're going to make it. Once we get there, I'm going to make sure that you're set up to the correct layout. Plenty of time for a round trip if we use up all those pipes. I brought extra iron to make more pipes, because yeah, pipes you can only stack 100 on a rocket. Pipe to ground you can do 50, but they're a bit more efficient. Yeah, I just give myself iron for making pipes, and possibly more pipe to grounds. But yeah, here we go. Just moving is so much better for grabbing resources. And because I made these quality grabbers, they have 2 arms instead of 1, and they're faster. It's probably the single item, the single greatest boost from quality on a single item is on the grabbers. Every quality boost gives them extra arm, and they're faster. And I think it has more capacity for asteroid chunks as well, so a bigger buffer. It's all good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Need these icy bits. Oh, you mean the heat pipes? Oh, okay. I am quite nervous about all of this right now. We lost a lot of time, and I am quite concerned about how Aquilo can go. Not my strongest planet, probably my weakest planet by a good long way. And you've seen how I've handled the other planets so far. I'm quite happy to see production going, though. That's calcite flowing out that I don't have to be providing these suckers. Beautiful. Just beautiful. It's kind of slow, though, but I throttle speed a lot. That's for safety, though. I'm not too concerned about throttling speed. Once you get over here, I'm going up there, and then we head on over. That's right. I believe I wanted you to ditch the carbon fiber, make some space. And then you can continue on with what you're doing. Master from Actraiser 2. is just hanging around here. Probably picking up some stuff for other places. Yeah, including the metallurgic science. That's fine. Wind lobby is over Novice. So, get me on there. Get me into the wind lobby. Would hate to go to the wrong place there. Whilst we are on the wind lobby, am I about to be kicking myself for not having carbon fiber? I can pick up carbon fiber along the way. The question is, how much do I need it? Carbon fiber on Aquilo is not used to make the plant, but it is used to make technologies. We need it to make quantum processors, although that also needs tungsten carbide, which I think will be a return trip journey thing. Yeah. We don't do fusion stuff, but we are going to need the railgun. The railgun needs carbon fiber and quantum processors and stuff. Science is the main thing, though. Science is the biggest issue we have. So we need to get science flowing, and while the science is flowing, then we'll also do things for railguns and such. Because we only need enough quantum processors to make the 2 or 4 railguns that we use. So we can bring that stuff over to measure, and as long as science is automated during that time, everything will surely be okay. Yeah, let's believe that. Is science still... No, science is not still stopped. Very good. And I can go back to having you like this. So we can have our beacons and things back. And I can get rid of these. We have space for all that junk, right? Yeah, and I'm going to want those solar panels down on Aquilo. Alright, why are you moving? Oh, you must have gotten these instructions from somewhere. Right, please don't have any instructions, Wind Lobby. I will tell you what to do. And for now, what you're doing is you're going over to Fulgora to pick up the rest of your items. And then after that, we'll go to Gleba. Will we go to Gleba? No, let's not bother with Gleba. After this, hopefully we're good to go to Aquilo. Oh, right, but I am present. That's a bit of a problem. All right, in that case, please wait for like 20,000 seconds or something. This thing certainly goes slowly. But yeah, like I said, that's by plan. I want to preserve some resources and make it safer on the journey. Good to see the rockets being made in abundance. Same with the bullets. Okay, they're not all working, but what can you do? Stack insertion would be so good, though. Could I actually get some stack insertion going? Might be useful down the line. Right, Gleba, in fact. Let's do this. I set up Gleba to be amazing, right? So let's make it amazing. Let's migrate you a bit. Maybe migrate these things down a bit. And let's make some stack insertion. Yeah. Send over that stuff for stack insertion. Get rid of any junk. Where's my junk get rid of? Yeah, to fooey with it. Over there, but you put out the junk. Also, bring in Das Nutrient. And also, I hope I have the gubbins for this. You there, put in everything else it needs. Not the jelly, of course, but everything else is just widely available, surely. And then put the stack inserters in here. I can't imagine I'll need a ton of them. Just make me a bunch. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Now, Wind Lobby, while you're over here, I need this stuff activated again. Go and grab the recyclers, superconductors, and holmium. from my beloved Fulgora, who hopefully had a chance to recover from their severe lack of rocket fuel after I stole a bunch of it. Yeah, there we go. The recyclers are on their way. Hey, they were stacked to 10. Maybe I only need to bring 10. I thought they stacked to 20. Oh well. Overbuilding and all that. Gotta keep a close eye on that fuel, right? If this thing runs out of fuel, we're in hot water. But surely 8 gigajoules times 100 will be plenty. Does that make 8 terajoules? No, it's times 100, so it's 800 gigajoules. What comes after giga anyway? Must be tera. Yeah, so a bit of a problem with pushing everything forward here is the destruction, and there certainly is destruction. But I think we can actually trim this off a bit to ease off on some of that. There we go. Yeah, that brings the aggression forward, especially from the spitters, but I just gotta cope with the situation, sadly. Master's doing his rounds, as he should. Wind Lobby is waiting on the holmium and the superconductors, and then we're going to Aquilo at long last. I hope we can make it to Aquilo. Part of my problem is that I haven't really banked up any rockets. Yeah, we're making them, but part of the problem is these guys don't actually bring their rockets over here now, do they? Oh well. We're doing the best we can, as slowly as we can. And the problem is efficiency versus module... Hold on. Isn't there just enough space to do something very cheeky like this? Do I have a spare beacon for this? Egads, it's hard to find things. I do. Alright, let's be cheeky then. That probably gave you a bunch of junk inside you, but that's your problem. There we go, yeah, let's speed up that rocket production so we can speed up the rocket production. On the belts, there's actually 500 rockets. That's good. Okay, that's really good. Maybe we can get to Aquilo. I was concerned because this guy had no rockets on him, but he does now. I still have some lightning thing, some laser things that I really don't think are necessary. Just costing me power and delivering me nothing. Alright, what do you think? Do we make our way down to Aquilo now? Do we have everything? We've got the holmium, got the recycler, got the superconductor. I really wouldn't mind picking up some stack inserters from Aquilo, from Gleba, just in case. But they're not ready yet. Oh, Crivens, I don't actually have one. I thought I set up a just general make device here, right? Please make me some of these. There are no actual steel chests. That's what I get for not doing botty things. And let's limit our production so we don't do something insane. And then that'll be brought over, and the production of stack inserters will begin. Alright, I think that's already plenty. Don't bother. Don't bother. Jake, what are the yellow bumpers around the belts? I haven't played the DLC, never saw anyone get that far. The bumpers around the belts. What do you mean by the bumpers around the belts? Oh, I think you mean these, right? That is not a DLC-ish thing. That's been around for a while. That's when you put a circuit onto a belt and tell it to read the contents of the entire belt. It'll put these all around the belt, and it'll measure the entirety of the contents. And I use that for circuit conditioning, like throwing away extra asteroids so they don't clog the belt, storing guns and ammo and rockets so that we have a buffer of them. Speaking of which... I'm inclined to believe I have 0 buffer of them. Is that going to be a problem for the journey? Got hundreds of asteroids, but I do still remain concerned. Transport belt capacity is probably not better than getting stronger explosives pretty soon. But I need to get my arse over to Aquilo, and the sooner I do that, the happier I'll be. If I have to pause thrust along the way, so be it, but let's get over to Aquilo. And whilst we're not reloading any saves along the way, I'm going to feel a lot better about just having one at the ready. So, to Aquilo. Aquilo? It never feels right when I see it typed out. Alright, let's get moving. I am concerned, but concern is for other people. Let's look at that space map. We're making this journey 30,000 kilometers. It's twice the distance of any of these, but the final distance I have to make is 100,000 kilometers. Let's hope we can do this. You're disgusting. Well, if there are any problems with the ship, we're going to find them out now. Hopefully it can shoot everything that's on its way. Collect everything so we have loads of resources. My concern is when the big asteroids start approaching. Like that. That's the first big bugger. But as soon as it enters missile range, it should be turned into space dust. Did I take like 4 rockets? 5? It's sending 5 rockets to kill these things. I definitely need stronger explosives. Why is there no power? Pause thrust. Power is a problem. Why was there no power there? These things are going. They're going perhaps too much. Why is there no water? Good lord. Of all the places to have water, it should be here. Is something messed up with my water creation? These guys don't have the power to smelt these things into water, but the ice should be coming through, just as the ice should be coming through to here and being made into water. Maybe my claims about not needing this power were incorrect to a degree. Perhaps a little foolhardy, although the power out here is not going to be very hot. At least it should be enough to get this stuff flowing. How in the world is water an issue? There should be loads and loads of access to ice and water out here. I suppose it is being burned for fuel, isn't it? The water, that is. The water's being turned into fuel. Even so, it's kind of scary, the lack of water. And look at these guys. They smelt that. It gets turned into water. Maybe just nuclear is using up a lot more than I expected. Also, why are these things even here? These should only be inserting when temperature is low. Yeah, that water's not really hanging around. Lots of ice asteroids. There's ice on the belt. Can we get a number on that? My ejection thing should be able to tell me. Well, I'm sure something somewhere tells me. There's 2,500 water in the stuff now, but, you know, it's a bit concerning. Your ejection logic may be flawed. I don't think so. Let's continue going, shall we? Get us back to Aquilo. That'll be a funny problem to have. But yeah, these things are set to set their filter based on this stuff. And it puts out the highest number, and it's only good if that number is above a certain amount. I forgot what my logic is. Oh yeah, if it's over 300, then we eject. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine, right? As we come along here, we're going to get a lot more ice... a lot more ice asteroids. Look at them flow. If anything, the problem will be the other kinds of asteroids. Yeah, the only negative thing I wanted was for railgun ammo, so that those didn't get thrown away. Don't need negative offsets for the chunks. I guess it's just that we absolutely slay water using nuclear power. The steam is there. The water just isn't there. It's okay. Once we get to Aquilo, we'll have plenty of time to bank water. Although I start seeing some of these running low on ammo, I start getting a little bit concerned. Sorry, just get us over to Aquilo and we're fine. Are we buffering steam? Once upon a time I thought we did, but I guess we're not. That might be something to consider. Do I have more of you, by the way? Yes, I do. Alright, so buffering that is an option. Right, I'm thinking about pausing thrust real soon because I'm running low on rockets. But we are going slow enough for that maybe not to be a problem. You disgust me. Trying to think of somewhere that I can shove this in. That would actually... No, that gets in the way. Trying to think of somewhere to buffer the steam. You there. There we go. Hey, we've got plenty of steam. That's essentially an energy buffer. A glorified accumulator. In fact, that's what it is. If you hold on to steam, that's just a low-budget accumulator, or low-tech. God, how is this thing ever going to get to the solar system edge? Can barely get to Aquilo. Yeah, the turbines themselves also buffer 200 units of steam each, and this thing's going to buffer 25,000 units of steam. Buffers are for scrubs, though. Alright, here we are. We're over Aquilo. I guess this thing had better wait in Aquilo and send me down what I need. So, pause the thrust and drop me out here, please. Whee! Alright, let's get familiar with this place and let's pick up our goodies as well. 7.25 hours to turn... Oh lord, this is a problem. This is such a low amount of starting land. When I landed in Aquilo on my own run, my first ever space age, I think I had like 2 or 3 times this landmass. Oh dear, that means I need a lot of ice stuff quickly. This is absolutely smegging tiny. Oh well, Win Lobby, you think you're going to be comfortable enough up there? I wonder about that, because the large asteroids could ram into things that are not very well protected. Maybe I should get you out of there, but only after you drop off what I need. And I need a lot of this stuff. Alright, I'll take the fast transport belt, storage tank, turbo stuff, underground, that, those, this, these, them, all of that. I don't think I'll need a pump. I want all the Logi bots, all the Constructo bots, all the Roboports. I don't think I need logic over here. Gonna need all that smegging concrete, by the way. Including the refined stuff. Hopefully I don't drop off anything vital for the ship itself. I shouldn't need accumulators, but I'm gonna need a butt ton of heat pipes. I'm going to need those heat exchangers, 20 turbines, all of that, these, them, that, those. Modules, lots of modules, lots more modules. All the iron plates, please. Hope this doesn't land on me and kill me. I'm going to hold over the water just in case. We did have one land on me previously and it did damage. And this is the last place in the solar system I'd want to die. Imagine the return journey. Don't spook me like that, game. Sprockets, please. I shouldn't need barrels. Besides, you can't even barrel on Aquilo, generally. Those are needed. Do not eject the uranium fuel cells. Oh my god, that would be a problem. The holmium, the superconductors. And that's everything, right? surely that is everything. You can stay up here for a while. I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. Am I sure about that? You're eating quite a bit of megawatts. That's quite a bit of my fuel cells that I'd rather not see eaten up over here. I could bring him back to a safer place that doesn't have giant rockets, but I don't want to babysit your journey either. Alright, let's go and grab these goods. You respawn on the planet you die. Oh, I didn't know that. That's not what I want to do. Just want my stuff, my gubbins, my bots as well. My bots are a big deal. That's cute and all. Where's the steel? I want some steel chests straight away. I got nowhere to put the steel chests, boss. Well, let's change that. Steel chests for the stuff, especially that windcrete. Yeah, all concrete can go in here. Right, keep giving me my stuff, please. Like I said, especially the bots. You have some general buildy stuff. Future stuff, I suppose, can go in here. That's future enough. Buildy stuff. I'm going to need so many heat pipes. They're like a dedicated place for that. Okay, there's nothing else that my rocket can even do for me over there, so I'd better just send it back to Vulcanus so that it can just grab stuff. But I'm still paranoid about it. How's it doing on water, at least? The water is buffered to a degree, so do I just send you back to Vulcanus? Let me think about this. What is it actually going to be doing? There's an argument for not sending it anywhere so that I can... Do I have electric engines? Oh, man. Yeah, I never told it to get me the gubbins for actually setting up rocket launches. But that's okay. It needs to go back and get me gubbins for that anyway. So yes, it does go back to Vulcanus. Alright. Vulcanus... Go there until I'm around, which I won't be, and just in case that's still a problem, wait for 1,000,000 years, and go. And maybe don't unload and don't have the shopping list active. Alright, just double checking that it actually dropped off everything I was needing. I think it did. Hopefully I don't need any of this stuff. And even whilst it's there, also the solar panels will kick in, meaning that the nuclear reactors have a lot less that they have to do. Still a little concerned about the ammo situation here. The amount of rockets it takes to destroy something is far too bloody high. How goes the Aquilo? We just arrived. It's scary that it took me 3 hours to get here. But we had a lot of problems building this ship. Getting it jump-started. Oh god! Crivens, look at all those! That was a lot of large rocks to throw at me at one go. This is why I want to babysit the ship. The fact that even some of you are out of ammo is a terrifying prospect. Yeah, I should have gotten stronger explosives long ago to save the amount of rockets it takes to knock out one of these big boys. But that was a hideous amount to see at once. Hey, Iron Throne get. I actually think this rocket is contributing towards reaching that target. Yeah, it'll be safer the closer it is to the core systems, at least. In fact, it'll be completely safe once it reaches Vulcanus. And hopefully the water consumption will go down a fair bit. Although there's no guarantee of that. The power is hungry. Can you believe Jake has a mech suit? How would I make it here without my mech suit, though? I'm just going to add more of these so that the water isn't so hungrily devoured. I did drop off solar panels to Aquilo, right? Okay, thank God for that. Although I suppose I have the gubbins to make some. Another huge batch of large asteroids. Not what I wanted to see, but the rockets are holding. Good. Team Rocket's managing for me. Everything seems to be holding. Do the platforms have separate production stats? Yes, we do. We can actually see over the past 10 minutes the rocket production and consumption. 150 or so, but it's steadily keeping track. I think it's more of a throughput issue. And during the downtime, it absolutely catches up. How about the magazines? No, uses a ton of magazines when in motion. So let's hope that when it's not in motion, over in Vulcanus, it'll have plenty of time to stock up. The closer we get to the core planets, the less frequent the large asteroids will be, and once there are no more large asteroids, it's free, because it's just Daka with bullets and away they go. But that was a concerning journey, and doesn't paint a good picture for getting ourselves to the system edge. We might have to take that a little bit slowly. Yeah, I should be building up Aquilo right now, but I really want to babysit this in case there's an immediate problem. Because, yeah, imagine a big asteroid taking out a big corner chunk of this. I don't want to imagine it. Alright, well, we've got stronger explosives at least, so the rockets, it should only take 4, maybe even 3 rockets to take out one of the big asteroids now. That's a good saving. Transport belt capacity is next up, which could have uses. Daka, that's good. More Daka, also good. And more Daka. Alright, it's safe. Get your arse over to Vulcanus and wait there pretty much forever. And I will tell you to come back with the goods that I need for Aquilo. I've picked up everything here, right? And I have my bots, huzzah! The bots are probably stuff that I should be putting to work. Alright, so bots are a problem on Aquilo. They solve a lot of problems, but Aquilo has a 500% multiplier on the amount of energy it takes for bots to do things. So you very swiftly run out of energy here. So what I like to do is just quickly go and mop everything up that we can, because we need some starter ingredients. We mop up these things and we get access to ice, lithium, not plates, but I think just raw lithium, which will be necessary. And we also get a few ice platforms. The problem is I'm going to need a ton of ice platforms, and they're one of the slowest things to make in the whole game, which is part of the reason I don't like Aquilo. It's such a slow planet. And yeah, you could up production to make it faster, but you need the ice blocks to build on to make your factory. And you're also having to wait around for heat to spread, because heat does not spread instantly over heat pipes. And that's a shame, because thematically I love this place. But there's no threat, and there's nothing exciting to look at. It's just a large empty ocean, which will go and fly around over a bit once I set up some initial production of the goodies that I need. So rather than just covering everything and saying pick all this up, I'm doing it in small batches so that my poor exhausted robots, which don't have a place to insert in me. Actually, get rid of that ice. The ice is of little concern to me right now. Yeah, so they don't fly away ages and then take forever to recharge. And I've set middle mouse button as my toggle for actually enabling and disabling my robots. Because yeah, they would drain my battery dry in a heartbeat. Does mean it's a bit more micro intensive, but you know, which part of this run hasn't been? I guess for one time I could show it off. Let's say I tell them to get all of these. Look at how long they're going to spend recharging on me. And it's just tanking my batteries. Glad I came here with the Mark III batteries, although they don't have quality. But yeah, if you just make them go out for a short amount of time, you get things done very, very swiftly. And also, you can, without any cost of anything, just run over items on the ground to instantly pick them up, which is quite nice. Alright, that should be enough pre-items. Also, I think I've hoovered this place up pretty... well, why settle for anything but completion? This sets you out with a small bit of floating ice platform, and as we can see from our planet, we're going to need a ton of it because we have been given a very, very small starting area. Everything needs to be built on floating ice platforms, and on top of that, you need to put concrete for most things you want to build. So even for that short journey, most of them need to recharge. Right, anything else to pick up? Looks done like dinner to me. Right, how exactly are we going to start this? I need to look at this and consider. I can see that we have oil patches over here, and oil patches are going to need to start things off because I'm going to need that for the fuel. The fuel! I forgot the fuel. What are we going to burn? I forgot the freaking rocket fuel to burn to keep us warm. I could do return journey, or I could set up a basic thing to make me heat while I'm here. Which isn't unthinkable. I do have 50 solar panels, which is the equivalent of having half a solar panel. Just get the initial heat going. He's thinking. Certainly... Wow, Crivens. Wasn't I meant to go to Fulgora and pick up some extra fuel? Or even from Novice? And I completely forgot. Yeah, stuff to burn on this planet doesn't come easy, but it can be done. You can pipe out some oil here and then refine it into stuff, but then that also needs a bit of a process on its own. Oh well. God willing. Wait a second. That needs something to actually generate the heat to begin with. Yeah, how do I heat the pump jack? Whoops. Well, Win Lobby, it's time for another journey back here. At least you've banked up some items, but tell me, does Vulcanus now have enough fuel for you to reasonably bring some over? How much do you have in terms of rocket fuel? You got like 4.2 thousand of it, though. Okay. But this also means we can bring the rest of the shopping list over and it won't be too much of an issue. Right, in that case... Please bring me, like, 1,000 rocket fuel. What else am I going to need for launching rockets and for building the thing? I'm going to need those electric engines. So bring over me electric engines, please. What's the minimum stack of these things? Minimum rocket launch is 400. Give me 400 electric engines, please. What else am I going to need? Like, I want this to be the second and last refueling journey for us. It's in the shopping list already. I don't want to re-enable this shopping list because it's going to get all this stuff back. I should probably just delete it. A landing pad would be a good thing to bring. I can just bring the gubbins for making a landing pad. A landing pad is made... Well, it's not needed. And it costs concrete, so I'd rather not spend that. Concrete's here, steel is here. I have rather a lot of steel, but maybe not enough if I want to build other things. Maybe another 1,000 steel wouldn't go amiss. How much is in a maximum stack? Like 4,000. Alright, give me another 2,000 steel. Can't go wrong with that. What else is needed? Like the stuff for making railguns and quantum processors would be handy to bring over. What a mistake, though. What a big mistake. It's going to cost me like 10 or 15 minutes. Assuming the rocket doesn't get destroyed on its way over. Tungsten carbide is going to be needed. I hope I have enough superconductors. I brought 1,000 superconductors. That'll be fine, right? Yeah, but I need tungsten carbide, tungsten plates, and carbon fiber. Tungsten carbide can be brought over here. How many is it stacked to? 500. Let's play it safe. Give me 1,000 of that stuff, please. The plates, they stack to that. Alright, give me 2 stacks of that just in case. we are going to need... Hang on, do I already have the carbon fibers here? It would seem not, so go and pick me up some carbon fiber while you're at it, please, Winlobby. Carbon fiber stacks to 500. Give me 1,000 of it from Gleba. Anything else that I'm going to be needing? Jeez, what a mistake. This timer is ticking down and I am getting increasingly anxious about it. Tungsten, yes. Superconductors, yes. Carbon fiber, we just told it to go and pick some up. We're getting the rocket fuel as we speak. This is not important. The researching of it is, but the stuff that comes from it is not. The railgun is of vital importance. Tungsten, superconductors, carbon fibers, quantum processors. Alright, that should be everything. But we managed to forget something before, so what else are we forgetting here? How about rocket launches? Rocket launches need the blue chips, although I only need to do about 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Let's say 10 rocket launches. So that's 500 rocket fuel, 500 blue chips, 500 low-density structures. Yeah, let's not forget about low-density structures. Bring up 600 of those from Vulcanus, please. I already have a bunch of blue chips, but I would feel a lot safer having another stack of them. So bring me over another 900 blue chips, please. And the rocket fuel... Well, you already have how much in your inventory? 800. Well, you know what? Let's just not mess around here. Give me all of your eggs and bacon. I know that sounded like lots of rocket fuel. Give me all of your rocket fuel. Alright, get that stuff over and bring it over to Aquilo. While we're waiting on that, I can actually spend some time planning out what Aquilo is going to be. Jeez. You made that Gleba plan, but Aquilo's shopping list was something you didn't pre-plan? Oh yeah, I absolutely pre-planned the shopping list. But I just forgot to... Yeah, we even talked about grabbing the fuel, and I completely forgot about it. These things have been known to happen. Right, this needs to be turned into some initial lithium plate, and I will need some initial power. Power is incredibly, incredibly sad on this planet. Oh, right, nothing's going to work because it's not going to be heated, right? If I set down one of these, it just freezes. Also, it can't be put down because there's no concrete. What if I do it like so? I thought this thing automatically put down the concrete. Yeah, nothing's going to work here. It's all frozen. So we can't do anything here, except I suppose plan. Planning is free. I don't have any accumulators, so even putting this stuff down for power is a waste of time. Wow, that's even more of my time wasted on ferrying stuff over. I'm gonna wait for all this stuff to be made, brought over, and we need to tell this thing to go to Gleba and pick this up. We must not forget the carbon fiber. I don't want to have to do another return journey. Okay, what will happen? You know, in the far-flung future where I can actually build stuff, what is going to happen? I'm going to need this stuff piped out. So there is going to be the pumping of this nasty cold stuff. And it's going to have to mix into some stuff. For God's sake, why doesn't it automatically put the concrete underneath it? I could have sworn it does. Is there a setting for that? I mean, I've built on Aquilo before. I'm certain it automatically puts the concrete down when you plan things. I was doing shift as well. No, shift control isn't doing it either. What in the world's the problem? It's not doing it on this stuff with the ice either. What? What? Explain yourself. Is the problem that I don't have any pipes in my inventory? You'll build that for me, but you won't pretend that you want to build that. I have concrete in my inventory. What is going on here? I don't understand. This is going to be hell for planning if it won't automatically put the concrete under. Have you unlocked ice platforms? Is that something you unlock? Maybe you do need to do some kind of basic researching here. That isn't something you unlock, though, is it? Yeah, well, it's something you unlock from doing Aquilo here. What is going on here? I do not know what's going on here. Put some concrete by hand, just in case. Alright. Oh, now it's doing it! What? So it needs to... okay, let's try not to consider the logic here. Trying to imagine how this thing goes. Yeah, now it's auto-building it. How weird. Right. Anyway, there will be stuff coming in here, and it needs to be processed. And in particular, there's going to be a process that involves turning this and this. Maybe that's a little too close for comfort. Yeah, it's very important that I get my solid fuel stuff on the go. So these things are going to do ammoniacal breaking apart. And then I'm going to need to mix oil with the ammoniacal solution in order to get a jump start on fueling things up. However, I'd like to have more space for that. So let's not have you there. Let's have you a bit further back. Don't worry, we'll consider how things go to ground and whatnot later on. How you doing, Win Lobby? You got me the goods? Good. In that case, please go to Gleba. Until I tell you not to be at Gleba. How you doing on things, by the way? You're backed up on fuel, you're backed up on steam, you're backed up pretty well on water. Alright, and how about buffering ammo? Amazing. Oh, thank goodness. Right, then it should be no problem getting you over here on the double. Kind of tempted to make the thing fly a bit faster, though. Maybe don't risk it. This thing wasn't built for that. Science is continuing, at least that's a good sign. Alright, once this thing is out, and bearing in mind I'm going to have to heat pipe to the end of days on this, I'm going to want it to spread its heaty stuff all over into here, and into here. Yeah, and that's going to begin the heating. This stuff parses the ammoniacal solution, which is a great term, by the way. Ammoniacal. Well, now it doesn't want to put it on brash ice, but is that because I don't have any of this stuff down? Wait, what? What? What is it doing now? Oh no, it's doing it again. It doesn't want to automatically put this stuff down for me. But now I do not understand what is causing this lapse in logic. And remember, I'm playing this game completely unmodded. Anyway, never mind that. We need to consider how this stuff goes out and around. Right, so there's going to be a whole lot of ammoniacal solution coming down here because I need a lot of it for making ice platforms. So let's consider 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, dope. And then maybe from here, it's all going to come down into one large ice platform creating place, which is going to be a whole lot of these things. By the way, how's it going, Win Lobby? Win Lobby's on the case. In fact, they're at Gleba, and they're just waiting. What do you mean there's not enough carbon fiber? How could Gleba be short on carbon fiber? Because some bastard went and took it all, didn't they? Yeah, because the Lose lobby took the carbon fiber earlier. Can I make do with what little carbon fiber I have right now? How much of this stuff am I going to actually need? Because it's not needed for science. It's just needed for railguns and the quantum bibbly boobs for the railguns. Let's have a quick look at this. One of these needs 1 carbon fiber. And 1 railgun needs 20 carbon fiber. I want 4, so that's 80 carbon fiber. Plus 100. So what's that? 480. How many do we have? 360. Well, isn't that a problem? I cannot wait, so just take whatever you can grab, please. Custom minimum amount of, like, 300. And then you'll send up whatever you have. Whilst I consider the bed that I have made for myself. Right, so these things need to make me floating ice platforms, tons of them. It requires this maniacal solution, and it also requires the... How's that gonna go anyway? Unless I put spaces between them. This all needs to be heated as well. Yeah, I gotta remember the heat pipe layout needed. The first time for each map, we place an item down, a new type of ice. You have to do 1 manual to unlock ghosting. What a strange requirement. Considering we already did it, and we had to redo it again. Right. Well, yeah, one way or another, I'm going to have a whole lot of these being made. And I mean a ton of these. This is nowhere near enough. Just drag it out, drag it out, drag it out. And then they're going to pop them out down bottom. Yeah, but how do they get the stuff first? Well, I could have the heat pipes just come along in a fancy way. Like that, for example. Don't go underground. That's not how we operate around here. I really don't know how much of this stuff we're going to need. Could I maybe do it another way where the... How much ice do you need, by the way? 50? That's a scary number. In that case, I'd rather it came in a lot more in bulk. I wonder if I could just turn this thing around then. Something like this. And then that comes down. And then, I mean, it is quite slow, but... And we have something like that. And then these guys can output into chests. How you doing, Win Lobby? You got the goods? Yeah, you got some of the goods. Wait, you only got 300. Damn, I should have told you to bring another batch. You almost have enough for like 400 or so. Is 400 or so going to be enough if I do something like efficiency, productivity modules? You know what? Take another minimum payload of 200. Once that's ready, and then bring it over. I need the time to plan regardless. Alright, so these things are going to cough their ice out, up, and along. And then you're going to pick it all up. And I'll probably do some undergroundy things to make sure you keep warm. Undergrounds are very expensive on heat, but so what? Okay. Well, it's a start. They made so cute frozen graphics for all the buildings, but you pretty much never see them on a real base. Yeah. It is cute, though, and I appreciate the extra effort that went into it. These guys are going to dump them like so, I reckon. Whether or not I get one on the end here, I don't know, or perhaps not even care. And then these guys are going to be going dupe. Well, do they even have to go underground? I mean, one way or another, I need to get heat pipes down here, I suppose, so... Maybe it can come in like so. This is pretty much a design that I've made before, but of course, having to do it on the fly and not really knowing what you're doing adds a bit of stress to it all, who would have thought? Maybe this can come out by 1 extra. And then when these guys are coming in, they can like go into a splitter of sorts. Although it's going to be a little bit complicated to heat it up. Oh, why am I even doing this? And you just copy the design, boom. And then we have the ice coming down here, and the ice gets made into ice platforms. How I add the heat, well, we'll figure that out once we actually have heat over here. Wind Lobby, how's it looking for the carbon fiber? Wait, no, 30 more. Get that 30 more and bring it over here. So, once we reach the end, if there's still ice that's here, then I want it recycled. So we shove it into a recycler that points at itself. And then you'll go here, and I'll do some fancy logic for it, but I'll do that once everything's said and done. And I'm going to need rather a lot of passive provider chests, so that I always have the ice stuff in the network. Chests don't need to be heated, which is quite nice. The game could do with a bit more telling you what needs heated, how much things cost to be heated, because currently it doesn't tell you anything about that. All right. Oil, ammoniacal solution. This will work, right? Once you build it, the game will tell you. Yeah. Yeah, by freezing it. Thank you, game. Maybe I should design the heat pipes while we're waiting, but I don't want to waste time. If this thing has its carbon fiber, I want it to get moving. Although I could tell it with logic to come over here. That is not a lot of low density structures. I thought I told it to get a lot more than that. I only gave it 600. I guess that's enough for like 12 rocket launches, so that'll be fine. But do I need to build anything with low density structures? I guess not. Just makes me concerned seeing so few of them. Alright, they are on their way. That left one is missing the inserter to remove the ice. Let's not worry about that just yet. That left one? Oh, you mean this little dude over here? Yeah, you're right. It is missing. Yeah, maybe we can do without it. I can add more if we need more. The point is, this will get fuel to heat everything up. And then from there, well, what happens? Who's to say? That noise still spooks me in such a big way. Especially when it keeps happening. So pipes to ground are very expensive in terms of heat. They use up like 150 more heat than just regular pipes. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm going to need pipe to grounds. Otherwise this stuff just won't work. Although, looking at it, does this need to be piped to ground? Yes, because the heat needs to flow. And actually that means there's not enough space for this, is there? Which means all of this needs to essentially come out by 1 unit. That or it could be remade. Alright, Wind Lobby, what's taking so long? You've got your carbon fiber. Why did it look like you dropped something off there? Oh, that's right. You're also told to give this place low density structures and processing units if it needs them. That's concerning. Alright, get your arse over to Aquilo. Bring me all that stuff. So that I may finally get this thing operational. Found it easier to set up the heat first and then the rest of the base. Heat gets wasted very much if you build something, heat it up, and then destroy it, especially the heat pipes. Even so, I should plan these heat pipes, which I, of course, didn't bring. They don't get used if I just plan with them, though. For now, let's link these together. Right. Think about it. Think about it. Okay, I'm done thinking. Here's the redesign. This pops out over here to go into the splitter. which you are also going into like so. Yeah, you can go back one more, save us the space. That way I've got lots of space to move the heat pipe around. Alright, there we go. So it comes out, comes along. Bob's your uncle. In we go. Now we got space for heating these buggers. I'm going to be so unhappy if my... that becomes a problem now, doesn't it? That needs to be out like that so the heat can actually flow. That'll heat all of that rather nicely. Better heat all of that rather nicely. And then this is going to need to be fed in such a way that it can allow passage. That's alright, we can figure that out shortly. The heat does need to come down here, though. Just build it all around this. It will... We've got a few ways of bringing this up and around here. I'll do it like so. Alright, alright. There's going to be a lot of work heating this stuff up, you know. It's going to cost a lot of initial fuel. So... I'll just have to live with it. That should get a fair amount of this going. How's it going, Wind Lobby? Slowly but very, very surely. How many rockets does it take to take out a big asteroid these days? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's down from 5, so I'm happy enough with that. Would I even want some more rocketry explosive research done? The problem is that stuff's expensive at 2,000, but whatever, I'm not spending the research on anything else right now. This would be a bit better brought a little bit forward, I think. Because then I could bring you up there to heat everything. Alright, alright, alright. So hopefully that begins our wonderful life of heating, not heating, but making ice platforms is the most important thing, so I have space to build the actual factory. And I don't have a lot of time to build this bleeding factory. Hand-feedy? There should be nothing hand-feedy about this. Once the oil and the ammoniacal stuff flows, this should be fine. It could be a problem if I back up on ammoniacal fluids, though, right? No, I think in the relationship you make more ice than ammoniacal fluid. So that backing up shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't. Okay, okay, okay. The stuff is still going. Oh, yeah, yeah. How does this part work without freezing? How does anything work? I hope I have enough ice platforms to get the initial building done, or else I might be in a bit of trouble. How about all of this? This is just going to be done with undergrounds now, isn't it? So is this even going to work? I mean, it's very expensive if it doesn't work, because, well, this is why I brought over a bajillion fuel now, isn't it? There we go. That should actually heat more or less everything up. You need heated, of course. Alright, how's it going, Wind Lobby? I believe you have my loads and loads of fuel. Before we consider anything else, I need that fuel, so let's just do that first. Use long inserters and then move the belt a tile north. Oh, sucks. I didn't actually set out for for how to bring the ice... No, I did. This is fine. I don't know what you mean by use long inserters, by the way. Use long inserters for what? There's a lot of places that use inserters. Please, if you can, be clear for me. Talk to me like I'm a child, or maybe a golden retriever. For the left part of the build where you fixed it with undergrounds. Fixed it? Oh, I see what you mean. If I didn't use undergrounds, I could just make it long. The thing is, there's a lot of ice that needs to travel, but on the other hand, you're right. These things are very slow. So it probably would be better to just use long hands. Because then I can just have this. And then we can have old long arm. Or even clamp down on space even more by having the long arm here and here. And then have the heat go around it. Taste the heat and the meat. Ounce of planning and all of that. Even so, I'm a little bit worried about this. And then you take everything you need along here. And then you come in like so. And then you go, but I'm so cold. And I say, that's okay. There you go. That'll solve your cold problems. Right, I'm actually willing to start this thing up now. I don't know about that. Especially with the lack of space. Why do I not have more of these? Get this junk out of my inventory, please. Oh, but in addition to that, maybe a few more chests wouldn't go away. Yeah, that's right. I turned them into these provider chests, didn't I? I certainly did. Yoink, yoink, yoink. I'm all but certain I'm going to need space just for dedicated fuel storage. Alright, do we think this is going to work? I certainly hope it works. Let's start building. The bots are going to drink me dry on energy, so it might have been prudent to build some of this stuff myself. Oh, that's right, I don't have the building materials on me either. Yeah. Well, I got these at least, apparently. But yeah, the heat pipes need to go down so I can suss all this out. I think that's going to heat the lot of them up. Yeah, it's absolutely drinking down my my power, though. Alright. Get me those heat pipes, then. This could be an idea of just how expensive setting everything up is going to be, because I feel like I did not bring enough heat pipes for all of this. Oh, I should have brought more heat pipes! I knew there'd be a return journey necessary. Always knew it. He doesn't want to put down the rest of these because there's no concrete, right? So I will also need more concrete. Alright. Give me the concrete then. Whee! And now let's start getting some heat going. So these things are actively going to be consuming that heat. So as a matter of priority, I actually need this stuff operational. Oh, I've made another mistake. That is, how do I power this stuff? Yeah, I can heat it, but then nothing's going to work. I need some basic power going. Where and how? Yeah, the turbine, of course, but I think down here maybe the space is fine for it. Let's just keep it very, very simple. Wait a second, turbines need water as well. Oh, I'm making so many mistakes for myself here. Right, well, don't worry about it. Just get the thing done. Where are my turbines? The heat can build up. Okay, the turbines are right here. That's fine, just let the bots use up all my energy. I'm clearly not using it. Right, these things aren't going to be doing diddly until they have some water. So I'm going to set up a dedicated little dude here. Your entire job is to get that water flowing with all these pipes that I didn't make because I didn't keep my iron. Fortunately, I have iron right here. No, stop stealing my pipes. You rotters, I need those. Cease and desist. Right, your job is to melt ice. As it happens, I have a lot of ice for some reason. Let's make you ultra efficient. And you will be the only thing working from these. You will very, very slowly melt that ice, and that ice will instantly turn into steam, which will be used for these. And at the risk of repeating myself, there is no such thing as heat loss in Factorio. So, just a heat pipe sitting around with heat in it doesn't cost you anything. But it does cost to actively heat a device. These things need to get up to 500 degrees, by the way, and that is a bit of a problem, because I need that for my energy. Energy has the priority, so I'm going to cut off the heat from the rest of these, which means these are going to lose heat, because the devices are eating the heat. But for now, let's just try and get these things operational. 500 degrees, please. We need it. Just like I need you to bring me some initial water. These things are only giving me 600 watts each. The amount of power around here is staggering. Oh no, these turbines with 500 degrees steam are going to freeze. We must heat them. Actually, yes. Alright, well the temperature is growing. It's just growing worryingly slowly. That's alright, it's alright. These will succeed. They have no choice. I have no choice. I guess while waiting on that, I guess the rest of this stuff can be built. It only costs energy out of my mech suit, which is free but slow. And we're going to need more pipes for this. It's rather charming watching them go as I build the pipes for them. It's the best part. If you unfreeze them, the steam is back to 500 degrees. Yeah, no heat loss seems to break a lot of laws, doesn't it? This all looks like it'll work, doesn't it? How could it not? This is all completely cut off, right? Yeah, good. I don't want to waste this heat. This heat must be turned into power to get the base started. And the sooner I get the ice platform began, the better. Maybe I should make the landing pad. Concrete processing units and steel. Alright, there we go. If nothing else, it's a free radar. A lot of damage on Novice. But I could do without any distractions right now because Aquilo's a big deal. And yeah, these poor heat pipes are cooling down rapidly, but that's okay. These things are heating up fairly rapidly. And once it's at 500, the power starts. So when the power starts, I will distribute the power, and then we will begin making the fuel to keep the base going and the ice platforms that we need to get everything else going. And I will also smelt all of my existing lithium so that we can begin making Aquilo stuff. Where'd you get the fuel from this planet? Pump jacks into oil is your best bet. And actually your only bet for a while. Although I shouldn't need a lot of oil for what we do here, because on Aquilo, do you need oil for anything other than making fuel to burn? I don't think so. Let's see. It's just lithium for lithium plates, and the lithium needs the brine, holmium, and the ammonia. One-off buildings don't really count, and the science just needs a fluorocatone, and the fluorocatone is... yeah. Oh, that's right, solid fuel is needed for fluorocatone. Okay, in that case, this thing is going to need to outsert some of that, but that's okay. Main priority right now is just heating this bloody place up to 500 degrees. Please do so with great haste. Let's even migrate these things together so the heat is spreading evenly between them. Don't know if that'll help or not. I hate that noise. I wish Novice were better defended. Good amount of initial water, though. Wait a second. Where do these things get their water in general from? Also, how do I get my pump going? I need those gear wheels that I think I turfed out. Maybe I was a bit hasty in throwing away a bunch of this stuff. I may well need it. Donk. Make it flow. And this stuff comes out rapidly, so it's not exactly a huge priority. Yes, so water. Water needs to be melted. I know. We're just breaking new grounds in thought processes here. We have a lot of ice, but how do I get the ice over here without causing any kind of fuss? That's right, some of this could just pop the ice out here. We won't need a ton of it. So I could just use a couple of long hands to grab the ice, throw it into one of you, and then bring it over. Alright, that works. That works. That works really well, in fact. Let's keep that in mind by having that over here. And then how does the water get over to this? Asking too many questions. There you go. And this will lap around. It doesn't need to touch itself, although if I'm really paranoid, I can do something like that. Okay, where's that 500 degree heat? Not going anywhere because I don't have enough rocket fuel. This really, wow, this is costing me a lot more rocket fuel than I thought. Glad I brought over a bajillion of this stuff. Yeah, temperature was actually going down there, but now these turbines should start kicking in. Right, any moment now. Sad that quality heating towers do nothing. It's not true. They consume more to put out more power, so you need fewer of them. But yeah, most energy quality things do not do a lot for you, for anybody really. Alright, come on, let's kick this thing into gear. Yeah, the ratio's the same. It's the new interesting ratios which are good, aren't they? Sad not to have them. I think I just connected everything, which is bad. Oh my god, I just killed the heat because I connected everything up. No, I need that heat. Please. Yeah, we disconnected this for a reason, so we can hit 500 degrees and actually have some steam. We like steam. There's an idea to buffer some steam so I don't instantly die if I no longer have 500 degrees available here. It's not the world's worst idea. That noise still spooks me so much. Come on, you buggers, what's taking so long? I need that heat. Heat has all but died in the pipes over here. For this exact scenario in a timer, quality heating towers would help. Yeah, this exact scenario. What a world. Alright, I need some power, and I need this stuff heated up. I suppose some additional heating towers would actually help, but destroying them means losing a lot of the heat that they have produced. Come on, you tease, you bloody tease. I'm running out of time here. Yeah, you'll notice the heat dies here. Things get warm if there's 30-degree warm pipes next to them. Very nice Frostpunk-esque stuff. Come on. There we go. Power. Limited power. Alright, now this stuff's gonna work. The problem is that 500 degree heat is going to very swiftly go away if I connect everything up. Is that going to be a problem? I think it's going to be a sizable problem. So does that mean I do bank up the steam? I guess it is. But how? Guess I could do something like this. That'll keep them heated, and that will store up additional steam. There we go. Very, very cautious of this actually maintaining decent temperature. Although these things do need to keep their fuel going. Right, I need to start powering this stuff up. I'm very, very paranoid about splitting this because then the temperature of this just goes way down the toilet. On the other hand, I don't need a lot of power for it, so let's just go, shall we? Thundercats are go. That temperature is going to be massacred as it spreads out over here. But we are also going to power these bad boys. With all these substations that I have. Please tell me I actually brought the substations. Where are the substations? Okay, I have them on me. Oh, man. There was never any need to panic. One wonders why this man panics as much as he does. Probably because we've forgotten things before. Why would we not forget them again? There we go. Now things are moving to a degree. Please stop making that noise, Novice. It spooks me so. There we go. So the ice comes along. The ice gets turned into ice platforms. And I make solid fuel with my ammoniacal solution. Why were those gone? Maybe one of the landing things landed on them, and that got rid of the thing. All right, good. This should be relatively self-sustaining. Relatively. Well, yeah, I said that temperature would be a problem, and the temperature is busy being a problem. But I think it'll be self-sustaining. Might be a little better if I, for now, just ease up on the power consumption. And that's the main one that will be working out of either of those. And this thing probably needs to work considerably faster than it is working, so a beacon would not go amiss here. Although it would go even less of a miss if it were affecting both of you. It sucks destroying any of this stuff because you destroy heat that has been built up. No heat loss, but we can sure destroy heat, no problem. Alright, there we go. Please speed these things up. They need it. And that way more solid fuel gets burned, and the heat will hopefully grow. If it doesn't come back up to 500, I'm in trouble. It is notably increasing. Good. Very good. Ammoniacal solution seems to be backing up, which is also a problem. Oh yeah, water. Did we ever deal with that? Oh, we did now. There we go. Now we make the water. And the water turns into this. Water storage, let's hope that's not needed. Yeah, hoping is good. Alright, there's the starter patch then. So, Now we get the ice platforms, although production is going to be very slow. The power seems to be fine. I mean, this is loads of power. This is what, like 20 megawatts? More than that of power. We have steam backed up, so hopefully when these things actually bring themselves up to temperature, we'll be okay there. All right, sweet. So we managed to get the starter of Aquilo. Here we need to actually build the everything. The railguns, the quantum processors, the science, the quantum cryogenic thingamajiggers. Maybe back up your pump check. Yeah, lots of cool ideas. Let's do them later. I don't think I am mentally in the game to finish the rest of the game, but the 6 hours that remain... God, we lost 3 hours for this! Horrifying. All right, the next one will be the make it or break it run. In fact, let's go that. Make or break for Aquilo. We'll get this thing finished. But, you know, I don't think the day is done. Why don't I stream one of the games that's been chewing up all my time? You might say, Jake, why weren't you streaming the past couple of days? Actually, I've got this slew of games that I just want to chew through at the moment. And not every game I want to play I want to do on stream, and not every game that I play I can stream right now. But how about something that we can?